Hello, spooky friends, and welcome to another episode of Storytime with the Scariest Podcast.
Woo! I really tried to woo.
I'm Robin Grace, and this is Adam Diaz.
Hello.
And we're here to tell you guys some homegrown horrors.
Indeed we are. I'm a little bit sick, but my voice is really getting better. It's been 2 days. Shout out to Jaxie Babe, who
Thank
just
you so
subscribed
much.
on our Twitch account. It's twitch.tv/Scarish Podcast. You can join us every Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Oh my God, thank you, Meadows, for also subscribing.
Thank you, Meadows, for also subscribing. I also want to give Carly a
Everyone's
shout out. Carly also subscribed before we went live on air. Shout out to Chessie Cat, who just subscribed. Okay, really quick rundown. Carly, 8 months. Jaxie, 4. Meadows, 7. And Chessie Cat, 7. That is awesome.
You guys
folks
are awesome.
Are amazing. Thank you for supporting us. Like Robin said, this is Storytime with the Scariest Podcast, which means we're going to read these things called homegrown horrors. Robin, what's a homegrown horror?
That was the longest, intake of breath ever. Stop it. That's not good. This isn't ASMR.
These are deep breaths.
Yeah,
this is ASMR with the Scariest Podcast.
Homegrown horrors are the lovely, amazing stories that you guys graciously
Wow, you're just nailing this. You had to criticize my breath.
Us. And it's stories about your supernatural, paranormal experiences, spiritual experiences, night terrors, sleepwalking, sleep paralysis, coincidental, hilarious, scary incidents.
The funniest ones are definitely when people think something really scary is happening and then they realize that they're just dumb, because we've all been there and they're always hilarious. So
yeah,
that's absolutely what it is. So we're very excited to bring you your stories, and thank you to everyone who sent them to us. We have 6 again for you this evening, and I'm pretty excited to get to those. Before we get started, folks, you know what it is? It's May 1st. The day we're recording this is May 1st. You know what that means? Winchester Mystery House tickets went on sale today. I checked it at noon, and they hadn't posted the ones for June yet, so I wasn't going to do a social media blast. Checked it again before we went live on air. They are available for purchase for Sunday, June 9th. So as soon as the show's over, we're going to go on there, make sure they can be acquired. Then we're going to let you folks know to go and do it yourselves, and we're just going to bother you a whole bunch for the next week. And
telling you guys to buy your tickets.
Probably the next 5 weeks, in fact. So be prepared for that. But I'm very, very excited to go.
It's in 5 weeks.
Yeah, it's May 1st. It's on June 9th. So it's in 5 weeks.
We will be seeing you guys in 5 weeks.
So book accommodations if you haven't already done so, or start making plans. But you can buy the tickets right now if you're watching this live. If you're listening to this on Friday, I'm sure they're still up there. And I'm very, very excited. So you'll probably see something on our social medias and our website, scarish.com, facebook.com/scarishpodcast. Our Twitter is @scarishpod. Instagram is @scarishpodcast. By the way, those are the ways that you can reach out to us, too, so we don't have to do that twice. Thank the Lord. I'm sure you guys didn't want to hear me do it twice anyways. So.
Well, you're going to do it at the end of the episode.
I will, anyway. But I'm pretty sure most people, when we get to the outro, just turn it off, which is...
You know, you guys shouldn't do that, because sometimes we add...
We say stupid shit, and it's hilarious.
Yeah, but we also add, news tidbits that we should put at the beginning. But
and some shout-outs to folks every now and then, too. So. And speaking of shout-outs, it's May 1st, so it's the beginning of a new month, so shout-out to Bernadette.
Bernadette for being an awesome... spooky friend.
I was like,
crazy. Also,
does she have some title I don't know about?
We do have a shout out tier on Patreon. If you guys go check that out. Bernadette's been a Patreon subscriber for quite a few months now.
We just call them patrons, but yeah, she's been on there for a long time. Yeah. So shout out.
Thank you so much.
And anyone who's been thinking about signing up, it's $1 to get in. You get early access to everything. I spend $1.25 on a Snickers bar. So I'm just saying, let us be your Snickers bar. We taste way sweeter and we're a lot cheaper.
I don't
know if that's a good thing, but whatever.
I was going to say, I don't want you to know how I taste.
Wow, this is getting weird. Okay. Speaking of weird, I'm going to go into my first homegrown horror of the evening and make this a little bit less awkward. So this first one, its subject is can read on podcast, which is a good place to put that, because then we know. And it starts out like this. Hello, Adam and Robin.
Hello.
Hello. My name is Scarlett, pronouns she and her. Thank you for that. I have been listening to the podcast for a couple months now, and I really enjoy listening to it. You're both funny and relatable.
Oh, thank you. Side note, I just appreciate when you guys say that we're relatable, because this is literally how we are in real life. Maybe a little bit more awkward in real life, but how we talk, we're not acting or anything. This is just, we're this annoyingly.
This is us. It's just like that show. This is us.
Wow. No, you don't want to be like that.
Some of you, you don't. Some of you have gotten to meet us because you came out to stuff like Level Up Expo, which just went by, where Robin did a really good job. Super proud of you. You had amazing products, and I know you met Justin, who I know.
Which was so cool. Oh,
So shout out to Justin
and
for
his
stopping
lovely
by.
Hubby. It was great. You guys are so nice. It's
Justin and
amazing.
hubby. It was super cool. And when we have events, and we'll let you know when we're going to be out and about, you folks can come meet us. Something like, I don't know, Winchester Mystery House, which I'm super excited for. I'm going to get back to this email, though.
Okay.
We're apparently funny and relatable, and we appreciate that. It goes on to say, I'm sorry if this email is shitty. I'm sure it won't be. I wrote it on my phone. I mean, you can do that for convenience sake. Anyway, I hope you enjoy my story. It was,
the cadence of your reading is really weird today.
It's because my nose is still a little stuffed and I'm trying to breathe and it's all like wonky because I'm not used to it. So, I was in school when I learned about a dark side of me. My friends at the time were talking about the past and something else came up. They told me that in the past they were scared of me. They told me about things I supposedly did, causing harm to them, but I can't recall anything. Punching them so hard they would bleed. Pushing them downstairs, hitting them with objects. I didn't know what to do with myself. I was confused. They weren't the only ones. I thought that it could just be sick people, like a sick person prank that they were playing since we were just kids, but they weren't lying. I was so fucking scared because I don't know if something like this happened again or will happen again. This thing I can't control or understand or remember can cause trouble. Not just a grounding. That's hilarious. It goes on to say, and it's so weird that I can't remember anything, but what can you do? I kind of blame myself for being distant from other students. I thought that they didn't like me. Guess it was another reason that I just didn't know about. Because though I had, quote, okay, this is a little bit difficult to read, so give me a moment here. Because I had, quote, unquote, friends that weren't my actual friends. So I don't know. Maybe it's not over yet. So I'm just going to speculate really fast that maybe something's actually not happening and they just decided to make some shit up and make you feel bad. But who knows? I didn't really care about them that much, but I wouldn't hurt them. Plus, I can't have something like that on my record, so I wouldn't do anything even if I was fucking pissed. I hope that I'll be able to find out what was happening. My mind just felt bad and pushed those memories away, so who knows? I'm sorry if I got a little morbid there. Hopefully I'll be able to get rid of whatever caused that. Your podcast brings me so much joy. I hope you have a lovely day, Adam and Robin.
Oh,
thank you very much. Well, here's two things. One, if it was a prank, that's super shitty, and I kind of hope that's what it was. If it's not a prank and you eventually remember that you did some of these things, that's repression. That's not a great thing, but I mean, it's nothing to be super scared of. It's just something that you should probably talk to someone about.
Yeah, and it just means you don't want to be that person anymore, and you've pushed that down and don't want to remember that you were a crappy person at one point.
Yeah, so. And I think it's not a common thing, but it's not as uncommon as I think most people think it is.
Yeah.
And it's there's ways to deal with it. So don't be afraid. I know it's really jarring when people say you did this. Honestly, that's the reason why I don't drink that much anymore, because I've had moments when I used to drink where like I would get super wild and crazy. Instead of being like fun party Adam, it was like flip table Adam. And I don't want to be that kind of Adam. And I think people who have drank before understand like a night where you might black out and someone tells you the next day like, oh, you puked black. It looked like your soul and you tried to murder someone. And you're like, I don't want to do that anymore. So it happens, and I'm just saying that don't feel too bad. Don't make that face. Just because you were sheltered doesn't mean that I'm alone here. Just saying.
I've never drank so much that I blacked out, or I've never drank so much where I got violent. So I've thrown up.
You drank so much that you puked a ton. Yeah, I was there for that one.
Yeah.
Hashtag my birthday. Just saying.
Yeah.
So it happens, and I'm just letting you know you're not alone and don't feel bad. So thank you for sending that in, though.
Yeah,
we appreciate
thank you
it.
so much.
And I think this is a good time to take our first stream chat break. So let's look over and see what you folks had to say. I'm guessing hi, quite a bit of highs, and then from there we'll figure it out.
Highs. Da, da, da,
Shout out to Akbar, who was first, and Jace was right behind him by 6 seconds. So 1 and 2 consecutively.
Queen Caffeine says, I'm so happy that I'm actually here early. We are so glad you're here. We're so glad everyone's here.
Yeah, shout out to Queen Caffeine. That's still my favorite name right now.
Jaxie Babe says, I finally got Twitch to cast on my TV, which is awesome. I know Twitch can be hard to finagle, or whatever that word is.
Finangler.
La la la.
Finagle.
Yeah.
So Akbar says, can I ask a quick question? Do you guys know an anagram for permutations involving factorials? I am very messed up right now. I replied from the official account that says, I know not what those words mean. I know what they mean, but I don't know an anagram for permutations involving factorials.
Are anagrams like
I'm pretty sure anagrams are
those
like
shapes,
No.
those little block shapes that you put.
I'm pretty sure anagrams like PEMDAS stands for like percents or no, yeah, parentheses, exponents.
No, that's not an anagram.
Then what is an anagram, Robin? Since you said you didn't know what it was, but you
No,
know that I'm wrong.
No. I know you're wrong because PEMDAS is just like, it's like FBI, CIA. It's just a breakdown of stuff, right?
It's an abbreviation. Yeah, but PEMDAS is different because each one of them isn't like part of a word that normally goes together. I don't know what an anagram is here. I don't want to have this argument right now. Someone tell us what an anagram is.
Maybe I'm thinking of bananagrams. I don't know. Okay.
Wow. I know what you're saying isn't right because there's no bananas involved. That's what she just said to me. Such bullshit.
Everyone needs potassium. Okay. So, You Need Skill says, I want to kiss your nose, man. Yeah, boop.
I said that to Akbar, and Akbar said same, and I'm supposed to teach that to people of the same age or younger. That sucks. Jace suggested Google, and I also recommend that. David Vo says, I think that's math with the exclamation point. Yeah, I know like permutations are like when you do like 7 exclamation point, it's 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3, blah, blah, blah. And then there's another version of it where it's like a combination. I can't remember. I haven't been in math in like 6-7 years, so.
All I know is triple integrals are making me miserable. And also shear forces and crap in mechanics of materials is driving me crazy. So I'm good with no math right now.
Jay says we watched Jurassic Park in my biology class. That's hilarious. I don't think it was actually anything other than like science. It might have been biology. In 9th grade, we got to watch Armageddon because we had a substitute teacher like the whole year because our actual teacher died like the first day. And they were just like, whoever we brought in is going to be the person that runs the class for the rest of the year if they accept the offer. But it was like everyone had that substitute that never did anything, that never got any work done. Mm-hmm. And everyone just did whatever the hell they wanted. And he's the person who was our 8th grade math teacher or science teacher. And it was like, holy shit, like this is a worthless class. And at some point he just wheeled in a TV. He's like, watch Armageddon. It's like, yes, this is very sciencey. Thank you for that.
The Snark says an anagram is a word that can be mixed up and turned into another word.
Okay, so you take the letters, you mix them up, and then you make something else.
I suppose so. All right. I am done with mine. So I am going to... Oh, what did I click? Sorry.
Soccer says hello to everyone. Thank you for joining us. Soccer says, Robin, when will you start your makeup tutorial?
I'm not good at makeup, so probably never. My friend Gabriella Halai on Instagram, she used to be a professional makeup artist. She usually does my makeup when we go out, so you should check out her makeup tutorials. She used to post a bunch of makeup tutorials on YouTube, but I don't know what to do with my face, so I kind of
she does that herself. Like, she's just being
modest.
I
do this myself, but like, if you looked at it really closely, you'd be totally just like,
you'd be horrified at what you saw.
All right.
She's just being modest. I have more chat. I'm almost done. I promise.
All right.
When we referenced how we're like, we are who we are and we're just a little more awkward in person. Kat says, more awkward, even better.
Akbar's like, Robin, those are parallelograms.
That's fucking funny.
Yes. That's what I meant. Parallelogram.
And it says, we certainly appreciate that you guys are real people. I appreciate that you guys appreciate that. There's sometimes I think we haven't branded ourselves enough. And I don't mean burning ourselves because I've done plenty of that. But
just pointing out how stupid we are.
Excuse me, I'm a little sick still. We haven't done enough to like brand ourselves so that we can like make it big and be a huge podcast. But I think eventually if we just keep pounding away by doing what we do, we'll be all right. Taylor is back and they say, hello, I've missed you all.
Akbar says Adam PEMDAS is an acronym.
Acronym. That's what I was thinking of. Acronym, not anagram. Gil 6 says, Robin Graves looks so Marvel today. Is it the Endgame? LOL. That's pretty good. Not going to lie. It's pretty good.
I loved Endgame. I'm not going to give any spoilers, but go watch it.
No spoilers. I was trying to find things I didn't like about it, to be honest with you, when we were sitting there because you told me that it was going to be bad because people had given it bad reviews. And I read a review right before we went in that was a 9.5, but it was the same reviewer.
It was IGN.
It was the same reviewer that gave Last Jedi a 9.5 and got my hopes way up. And when I saw Last Jedi, I was like, it was all right. So when I saw Endgame, I was much more pleasantly surprised. So that's what I'll say, and I'm done with that.
I love how many people are saying bananagrams.
It's so fucking funny. Seriously.
Okay, so I'm going to get into this next email here, and this one begins. Hi, friends.
Hello.
Hi, friend. It's me again, the twerkaholic from Cabo.
I remember that story. You can't forget the twerkaholic.
They should make like a dance studio and call it the twerkaholic, and have classes that teach you how to twerk.
A dance studio called Twerkaholic?
Yeah,
But dance studios usually have like some weird pun that's involving like
twerkaholic.
dancing in studios, not like dancing and drinking.
I don't think twerking necessarily means you're drinking.
No. Kaholic means you're an alcoholic.
No.
Hence twerkaholic.
No, twerkaholic means you're addicted to twerking.
Okay, cool. Keep going.
Because there's a cinnamon place out here called Cinnaholic.
Yeah, it means you're like drunk on apparently cinnamon. I don't know. Just keep going.
I finally caught up with the podcast and heard my story. Thanks for making my story sound 100% cooler. Wait, 100 times cooler. I can barely read. Than it was, and hashtag whole life is the best life. Okay.
Did you just say whole life is the best life? Because all I heard was you laughing.
It says hashtag whole life is the best life.
Okay, thank you.
Just
we
kidding.
don't hoe shame. So
No,
you know what?
no,
you
no.
do you, and you do whoever else you want to do
But
too, apparently.
it's just funny. Anyway, it continues. Just kidding. Not really, JK. But I do have more scary stories that happened to me a while back with a group of friends, but I'll just share one today. So my friend S has the third eye. So pretty much she can see/talk to spirits.
So she's the three-eyed raven is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
I don't normally do this.
She's Akko Taco like Bran.
I'm going to go ahead and break into a live story for chat because I looked over and Anna has said they only lead twerk-out classes at the Twerkaholic. Like workout, but twerk-out. That's a pun. Good work, Anna. Shout out to you. You made it in the actual episode. I'm just saying that was good. Okay, I won't interrupt you anymore.
Okay. Growing up, her father told her that she has two spirits that'll follow her and that they can communicate with her father. Whoa, my voice started getting weird. Look what you did to me.
You did this to me. I got this from her. Everyone that watches or listens knows she was sick first.
So
just saying.
One dumb night, we all decided to go to the park at night and, I don't know, fuck around or whatever. That's how it's spelled. Oh, whatever.
Got it.
I was standing next to S, who is very quiet, and because she knows that I can sense things as well, bends down and whispers to me, "Let's go home. I don't want to be here."
Oh, shit. This just got real.
My short ass looks up at her scared. What do you mean? She looks over to where our guy friends were on the swings and looks back at me and whispers louder that she wants to go. So being the mom of the group, I gather everyone around us and was telling them, "Let's go." Our guy friends were trying to play it cool, but then S nudges me and whispers to me again, "Look." And she points at the swing. Shit you not, the swings were moving. My guy friends started to freak out as they said that they were for sure had stopped the swings before coming to us. Next thing you know, S dipped out on us, and we all ended.
She's like, "I warned you fuckers enough. I am out."
And we all ended up running back to our cars. But tell me why S screams out to our homeboy to keep running, and no matter what he does, do not look back. Oh my gosh! So she's just like, "Dude, don't stop. Don't look back. There's something behind you."
I don't know why, but if someone were to yell that at me, the first thing that jumps to mind is there's a Tyrannosaurus Rex behind me,
Oh my god!
and I need to keep going.
You'd feel it though.
You would feel it. You know how you can tell? Watch Jurassic Park. The impact hemorrhage on the ground, and you can see it ripple through the water. Just saying. Like, you know if there's a T-Rex behind you.
I tried to look up a gift today for Jurassic Park, and I typed in "clever girl," and it came up with Jenna Louise Coleman in Doctor Who.
That's funny because she's
So
a
I was
clever
like,
girl.
dang it.
I tried to
use
look
this
up.
one
This
instead.
isn't a joke. This is how aligned we are on things a lot. I tried to look up a Jurassic Park gift today, and I couldn't find it no matter what I did. And I typed in Jurassic Park - you crazy son of a bitch, you did it. Because I really just wanted that Jeff Goldblum shaking his head where it has the line underneath, and I couldn't find it anywhere, and my break is only so long. So, yeah, one of my breaks at work today was a total failure. But, yeah.
Oh, so you didn't find any cool ones?
No. I mean, I found
all
some,
right.
but nothing that was going to say what I wanted it to. So.
Oh, okay. Anyway. So, swings are moving. Do not look back. Okay. His dumbass turns around and ran for his life. We barely got into our cars and drove off. S's phone started to ring and she picks it up. It was her dad. How did he know? Because of the spirits that follow her, told her dad about what happened. That's creepy.
Well, what was it? Do we know?
Well, I don't know. Let's find out. He was furious and told her to tell all of us to go to her house. We drove to her house and crammed into her room. There were like 9 of us. And S starts to place her hand on our heads and told us that it would be best if we stayed with her and her family for the night. So all 9 of us slept over on a Monday night, scared and crammed. We all woke up and continued our day like normal. But
and our organs were gone. We were in bathtubs. I always thought S's 9 bathtubs was weird. Sorry, my head's in a weird place.
But to this day, our homeboy refuses to tell us what he saw when he turned around. Thanks for reading my story. I have plenty more, and she'll share when I have free time and not scared. LOL. Love you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate that. I'm very curious as to know what homeboy saw, so
yeah.
Tell him to hit us up, and I will talk him into telling us what it was, because I need to know. Was it a Jurassic Park? Was it a Jurassic Park?
I mean,
was it a T-Rex? Was it Jeff Goldblum? We will never know.
Did the dad know, like, did the spirits tell the dad, like, this is what was there? You know what I mean? Or were they just like, oh, shit went down, kids got scared, just
maybe you got a bad
now.
feeling? Were there security cameras involved? There's a lot of questions we have here that we won't be able to answer, but
yeah.
the homeboy out there knows what he saw, and it could be nothing. He could just be like, I was really scared and I didn't want to admit I was scared. But we'll never know. So good stuff. Thank you for sending that in, and send us all your stories. We want every single one of them, and those of the people you know as well. So steal their information and pass it off as your own, or just give them credit in your email. That works too. All right. So I think we're going to look over into Stream Chat yet again. That wasn't terribly long, but we do have some stuff added on here. Gil6 says, I haven't listened in a while because of life, but I've missed my spooky friends. Well, we didn't go anywhere, and we were worried that you weren't here, hoping that maybe you just found a better podcast, but I'm happy that you've returned.
Yeah.
Because we missed you too. And of course, Anna had her twerk out joke, which was pretty freaking good. Kaylee says, what's up, Spooky Crew? Kaylee, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you being here.
La la la. The Snark says, I looked like a Boulder City hooker. Oh my gosh.
That's fucking funny.
No, you did not.
No, you looked like a way classier hooker than that.
Oh my. What? Thank you so much to the Gray
Coast, who just resubscribed for the 3rd month.
Carly says, love Robin's shirt. Thank you. This is a really old shirt, and so I was very surprised when I put it on. And it actually fit, because a lot of my clothes are a lot tighter than they used to be. But
it looks good.
Yeah, thank you.
Anna says, what is scarier, a T-Rex running at you or Jeff Goldblum? A T-Rex, because Jeff Goldblum I'd run at if he was running at me with arms wide open, and I'd pick him up like, what the hell is that? I'd pick him up like Dirty Dancing and spin him around.
Oh my goodness.
It'd be amazing.
Jaxie Babe says, don't you get that quote unquote don't look back when you're running up the dark stairs or hallway at night? When I go to public restrooms and the public restrooms are dark, I literally do that. I will not look up at the mirror. I'll wash my hands and run out of there, like speed walk, because I just don't want to see anything in the mirror or have anything pull me back in.
Wow.
It freaks me out, okay?
I will say, when I wake up to use the restroom in the middle of the night, I don't turn on the lights anymore. I haven't done it in a long time, because it's easier for me to just use my night vision and use the restroom and go back to bed, because if my eyes adjust, I might not fall back asleep. However, when I wash my hands, and I consciously do this every single time, I don't look at the mirror. One night I looked at the mirror and I got the thought, like, what if you see something behind you and then you turn the light on and it goes away? And I was like, you know what you can do to, like, avoid that? Just don't look in the fucking mirror. Battle's over. So I just don't look in the mirror anymore. Dead serious, I don't do it. I don't know why. I just got creeped out a little bit. And I was like, nah, dog, I'm good. So, yeah, that's 100% true.
All right. The Snark says, ooh, fancy like Summerlin.
Exactly. No, you're fancier than that. You're a Southern Highlands hooker.
I think Summerlin's
I have no idea which
Highlands.
One's classier than the other one.
Oh,
so.
okay.
You're a super classy hooker. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay. Oh, Jesus. All right. Is it your turn?
It is my turn, yes. Okay, so I'm going to move on to my second email of the show, and this one...
We have 6 tonight, too, so stick around. We have 6.
In fact, I mentioned that earlier.
Did you?
I did.
Are you sure?
I'm 100%
I don't
sure.
remember this.
I did.
All right.
The subject for this one is I really should have known better, which is a pretty good subject. It sounds like we're going to get into a cautionary tale. And it starts out like this. Hiya, Adam and Robin.
Hiya.
Hiya. This just happened and I'm feeling scared-ish and decided to share it while it was still fresh. So my daughter and I are visiting her father in Florida currently. Florida, first step. Just saying. Place is crazy.
I want to go though. Disney World and Universal. They're down there. We have to go to Hogwarts.
We do.
Have to go to Hogwarts.
We have our wands and everything, so we're ready. He stays in the Waterford Chase area, which is notable due to its exclusivity.
Waterford, is that the place that makes those really nice glass ornaments?
Sure. I'll just say yes, because I have no idea what you're talking about. Neighborhood Watch is still alive and well out here, and compared to where me and husband grew up, this area has that, quote, no worries kind of feel. Enter creepy truck guy. So normally my husband shares his house with 3 other male roommates, so the place stays pretty tidy. It's shocking that there's 4 men living in a house and it stays pretty tidy. I come to visit with our cyclone of a daughter and find myself cleaning a bunch. Anywho, in the middle of cleaning, my daughter decides she wants to go outside. I open the sliding door and she goes out into the little patio area while I'm out in my chair. I imagine once you're done cleaning up after your kid over and over and over on the inside of your house, they're like, I want to go outside. You're like, please do, you little monster. So it goes on to say, I then remember my phone and go back inside to find it, leaving the door open. Now, there's a mini football field behind the house, but you can see road traffic coming and going because it's a corner lot. So I don't worry about my daughter running off because she knows it would be the beating of her life and I'd be able to catch her before she got to the road. So I don't trip about walking away from her when she is busying herself. Or at least I didn't before this. Oh
gosh.
Shit.
I'm imagining a pet cemetery type thing.
Oh God, Jesus. Your hair goes really bad places. Sometimes dead is better though, just saying. Okay. As I walked.
No, you gotta say it.
Sometimes dead's better. Is that what you wanted?
Yeah.
Okay. As I walked back outside, I noticed a creepy gray Mitsubishi Mighty Max, in parentheses, my grandmother owned one when I was a kid, so I'd know them anywhere, parked on the grass, pointed our way. No big, right? Could be a landscape dude on break. No, as soon as the driver sees me, they turn and book it back to the road, almost causing an accident. Paradise lost. It's a really good way to end that. Love you guys. Keep on creeping on, Brittany. That is super effing creepy. Like driving straight through grass at where you, and more importantly, your daughter was outside alone. Yeah, that is a paradise lost moment. Holy shit. That's like a whole new world of scary stories.
Why
we
is
have
Paradise
never
Lost?
Because they had this area where they thought nothing bad could happen. Oh, and then your world is shattered by realizing not only could something bad happen, but something bad was about to happen. So it's just that's a whole nother area of scary stuff that we've never gotten into. I remember listening to someone talk about the fact that like they were almost kidnapped when they were a kid and they didn't realize it until they got older, where it's like, oh yeah, like some dude tried to lure me into his van, and when I told my parents, they freaked out, and I didn't realize until older, like some guy was driving around picking up kids. It was from back home. I don't remember who it was, but what I remember about it is they told me that story, and later on I looked up a death because I was going to My Favorite Murder, and I was like, I remember some little girl dying when I was a kid, and I realized that some dude was abducting kids and killing them, and it was probably the exact same time whoever this person was, whether it was an acquaintance or a friend that I talked to, almost got abducted. And it's so weird to think like how many times you might have brushed that. That's a lot of scary stuff that we don't really touch on. So I'm sure when we start like leaning back into true crime a little bit here, we're going to get to some of that scary stuff, and then maybe some of those emails will come in. But
the true crime stuff, sometimes I need to take a break from, because then I get way too paranoid, and then I but I start remembering things from when I was a kid, and then it starts freaking me out, and I just try not to.
You want to get that burp out?
It wasn't a burp. There's a bubble in my throat.
You're just talking through it and you sound like you're dying.
I know.
I was like, this isn't how she sounds when she's crying, I promise.
No, yeah. And it just freaks me out because being a kid, you're like carefree, and then you realize like, oh man, I shouldn't have been so carefree. Yeah, you're
oblivious as shit. And then you realize later like, wow, like my parents somehow kept me alive. Like good on them. Like thank you, mom and dad. I don't know how you pulled that off.
When I hear the term latchkey kid, I'm always just like, I'm really glad that I wasn't one of those.
I was one of those. I had a key to my house at a very young age because my parents both worked. My mom wouldn't get home until like 5. She got off at 4:30, and my dad worked like 8 to 12 hours.
I grew up in the middle of nowhere, so from school to home was like 35 minutes, 45 minutes, and the bus didn't go out there.
My bus ride was like 35, 40 minutes, but the bus did service all the kids. That sounds weird, but the bus did service all the kids.
No, I'm not even going to
Don't
make
even
a joke.
picture it. Don't even try.
Okay, so
it's an anthropomorphic bus that's also a fucking child molester.
Yeah.
But yes, I was like the second to last stop is what I'm trying to say. So I'd get off the bus, go up to my door, unlock it, go inside, lock it, and then watch some form of animated cartoons, whether it was X-Men or Spider-Man or Batman. But I fucking love every single one of those series. Just saying.
Hold on.
Jesus Christ.
Where
dude.
I lived, pizza places wouldn't even deliver. They're just like, you're way too far. No. It
Same
didn't
here.
happen.
I lived in rural Indiana, so anything that would deliver, like until I moved to the city, nothing delivered. Then when I moved to the city, I'm like, holy shit, like Jimmy John's delivers, and it's like they're known.
Jimmy John's delivers.
They're known for delivering fast. You didn't
Jimmy
know that?
John's.
I was like, I didn't know that, and I was ordering Jimmy John's all the effing time. So, yeah, that's 100% true.
I want Jimmy John's. Sounds good.
It does. It
I want
always
a
sounds
tuna
good.
sandwich.
Just saying.
Man.
I get the gargantuan because I'm a fat piece of crap. All right, let's look over into stream chat and see what you folks had to say about that one.
All right, so the Snark says, Summerlin. I already read that one. And the Jackson Babe reminds me of the Cheesecake Factory
Did you
story.
say Cheesecake Factory?
Cheesecake Factory story about where I ran out of the bathroom.
She was scared, man. She was like, I had been to the bathroom.
It's because Ralph scared me.
Well, this is the thing, and I have never told the story this in depth before, so you're welcome, those of you watching live. When we were telling these stories, or Ralph was telling his scary stories to us, we were sitting in our booth, and I had gone to the bathroom already. To get to the bathroom, you had to walk out, walk all the way to the other side of the restaurant, walk all the way to the back of the restaurant, and then use the bathroom. So the amount of time it would take to walk there, or what I perceived to be the amount of time it took me to walk there, when Robin said, I'll be right back, I have to use the restroom, she left my sight and cut that time in half, and she was back. She had gotten to the bathroom, peed, and gotten back, because that's how nervous she was. I'm dead serious about that. Like, it was so fast. I was like, did you like pee in a pitcher halfway there? Like, what
I was
the hell
really
just
scared. And I was wearing a skirt, so it was really fast. Anyway, Abe's Monster says, I hate mirrors in the dark. I really hate, there's a mirror. Okay, hold on. Let me think about how I'm going to say this. So our house is 2 stories, and we have a staircase, and it goes like one platform and then another flight. And on that platform is a tall length mirror. I don't know how they describe those. It's a huge mirror that stands there. And at night, I get really scared of going downstairs because you can't see anything in the mirror because it's like pointed towards the downstairs, and the downstairs is dark. So you don't see anything, and it freaks me out. And so I it's crazy.
It's dusty, and rather than dust it, Robin decided to draw an anime face.
Yeah, I drew an anime face
on this
it.
giant mirror in the dust. So we haven't dusted because it just looks too cute. Akbar replied to the question, what is scarier, a T-Rex running at you or Jeff Goldblum? Akbar's reply is Jeff Goldblum on a T-Rex, which still sounds pretty hot to me because it's got Jeff Goldblum on it.
Want an art print of that, of Jeff Goldblum on a T-Rex.
I want an art print of Sam Neill with his face like he was when he was against the against the Triceratops, listening to it breathe. But instead, he's up against Jeff Goldblum's chest when he's like shirtless. I found that GIF when I was looking for my "You Crazy Son of a Bitch, You Did It" GIF. I found like Jeff Goldblum like breathing deeply and Sam Neill going up and down on him, and I was like, that's pretty hot. I'll save that one for later.
Okay. Let's see. Trip 7 says it's a full body mirror. That's what it's called.
Yes. Akbar says, whenever I feel the need to run away from something, I just walk. They feed on fear. Here's the thing. I don't want to ruin your mindset because I think that's a very good thing to remember is a lot of things do feed on fear, and showing it fear is how it like feeds or gets fueled. Some things just feed on flesh. And if you don't run, you're just like walking and being all cool, like just saying like you're just fucking yourself over a little bit right there.
You're ridiculous.
It doesn't, if you're not afraid, if you're really not afraid, look back. Just look back at it. Just look back and see if you think something's behind you, if something is behind you. Because if there is something behind you, like a fucking cougar, and it's charging you, then you know you need to move. You need to do something. But if you're like being super cool guy, like I'm not going to look back at this thing, and you're like, it feeds on fear, then the next thing you know, you're getting attacked by a cougar. Just saying. So.
Okay.
You're welcome.
La 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 la. Queen Caffeine says, if you didn't get offered candy from a creepy man in a van, did you even have a childhood?
Seriously, right? I grew up in the Midwest. Like, there's just fucking rape vans everywhere. Just
what?
saying. There's white vans would drive around all the fucking time. It's like stealing kids was like the in thing in the 90s when you were a kid. Not even shitting. Like, I just remember growing up and being afraid that I was going to get kidnapped. And not just because when my mom would leave places and leave me, she'd be like, don't get kidnapped, like as a joke. I thought I was going to get kidnapped a lot because people looked fucking suspicious when I was a kid, man.
I just remember hearing the ice cream truck and then panicking and looking in the couch for change so that you could go get stuff from the ice cream truck.
When we moved out to the Boondies, when we moved out to Valparaiso, Indiana, that is when the ice cream truck stopped coming because I wasn't in a subdivision anymore. I was in like the middle of nowhere, USA. But we had 2 neighbors and we had walking distance to a subdivision where I could go hang out with people. But I never heard the ice cream truck again after that until I moved out as a 19-year-old man and I got an apartment. And that fucking ice cream truck would ruin every nap I ever tried to fucking take after that. I swear to God.
How many F-bombs are you going to drop?
You just count them. So I don't know. As many as I can.
You just said 2 within 2 sentences. Wow. I can see
We are marked explicit on iTunes. Just saying. And plus, this isn't even going out to iTunes. This is just Twitch
you're just annoying.
Twitch and YouTube. Whatever. You're the only one bothered by it. Stop it, dude. You're going to smear my makeup.
Okay. La 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 la. I am going to go to the next email now, right?
No, I'm not done.
Okay.
I was just waiting on you because you kept saying no. Because I thought you were going to get something. Glitch says, oh no, I was sitting in traffic right by my job wondering why there's traffic on the main road. Somebody apparently hit a horse. I'm going to leave the rest out of what happened. That's so sad. Hopefully, I mean, it's weird for me to
Horses are huge.
I initially went to like, I hope the horse is okay. I also hope the human's okay. So that is way scarier than any ghost experience I've ever heard, Anna says. Yeah, the almost kidnapping experience things are really effing creepy. Blanca says, I get paranoid when my kids go out to walk to the bus stop. I tell them to always walk in groups.
Which is smart. It
is smart. Anna also said full-length mirror is what they're called. Spectral Gaming says, hey. And then my friend asks you guys that we have a podcast. Awesome. Good work, Spectral Gaming. I used to have a gaming podcast, but not anymore. Akbar says, Adam, why? I walk in the dark to get to my house alone.
Why would you do that?
Also, don't live in the Philippines. I just don't want Akbar to not show up anymore because he got attacked by something he didn't see coming. Now he'll look over his shoulder. And you know what? If you don't look over your shoulder, typically it's because you're scared. And I hear that they feed on fear. Just saying. Cougars also don't live in the Philippines. That's what Akbar really said. So, my bad.
Cat Beatrix says, look back using a mirror. Could be a basilisk.
That's the smartest shit I've ever heard.
Yeah, but
just, Cat, you know what? You're taking over the advice for the rest of the show. I'm not going to say a word.
But even... Oh, no. Okay. I think the mirror... Did the mirror thing work, or did the mirror thing freeze you but not kill you?
The mirror thing turned her into stone. If it looks directly at you, it'll kill you.
Okay.
Anyone who saw the reflection was getting turned to stone.
Okay. I know that little photographer kid got turned to stone because he looked through the camera lens. That happened too.
Yeah, and one of them looked at the reflection through the water.
Yeah.
In the surface of the water.
Yeah, you're totally right.
Spectral Gaming says, he kicked me out of the podcast and he does it for fun, so don't tell him things because he stole my idea. All right, dog. I'll keep my secrets to myself. My podcast died after 60 episodes, though, so any evidence or any advice I give him might be poison, so maybe you want me to talk to them. Kat says, you'd be fine. A reflection of her won't hurt you. This is in regards to what if you saw Medusa in the thing. The reflections don't hurt you. That's why Perseus, I'm pretty sure it's Perseus, was able to defeat her and take her head to use it against the Kraken. Hashtag Clash of the Titans. Original's better.
What? I have only seen the new one that has
Sam Worthington,
Liam Neeson in it.
And it also has Voldemort in it. Who shall not be named is
what?
Hades. Yep.
Oh, that's cool.
Spectral Gaming, I really want to play with Robin on some games, and she should get Rainbow Six Siege. I don't think Rainbow Six is her jam.
It's
however,
not. I haven't played an FPS since Call of Duty Black Ops because maybe it was Black Ops 2. Just because it started getting the frame rate is so high now, and everything moves so fast that I get nauseous.
She gets motion sick pretty easily. Yeah.
When it was lower quality graphics like Modern Warfare 2, good, super good. And now that it's super realistic and really high quality, it's like too much for me.
She has to take Dramamine sometimes when we play Overwatch. So that's a real thing. But it's Dramamine, right? That's the motion sickness stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm not crazy.
Sponsor me.
All right, that's funny. I'm going to finish this out. We're talking about the reflections. Reflections are okay. You be good. Akbar says, not everyone can live in a good place, Robin. So just saying.
It's true.
Hey, the Philippines, I know a lot of people from the Philippines. They're all amazing people, so it has to be good in some way. Spectral Gaming says, you guys are great. Could you give me a shout out? My channel is Spectral Gaming. We will give you a shout out.
This is your shout out.
This is your shout out on our channel right now. And well, does she have PlayStation and what does she play? She is right here, so I'll let her talk for her.
I only play single player games on PlayStation. Sorry.
Multiplayer games.
Multiplayer games I play on Xbox.
There you go.
I can't do the PlayStation Lives or PlayStation Plus stuff. I don't know how they do it. I don't do multiplayer on PlayStation. I just don't.
I'll tell you what, Spectral Gaming, email us, storytime@scarish.com, and we're thinking about having a Let's Play soon, so maybe we can all coordinate and get going on something. So that'd be super fun, though. But that is everything I have. So
cool.
I think you're next.
All right. So, oh, wow, you already read your thing. All right. The title of this next email is called A Funny Story About My Mama.
Cool. If this is just strictly a comedy email, I'll actually be pretty happy.
There's a lot of hearts, like big, gigantic hearts that I can see, like, just looking. Like, the emotes are gigantic. And I don't know if that's an editing thing that made it so huge, but they're huge. All right. Hello to my favorite voices. Oh, that's so sweet.
I'm going to say hello, assuming you meant me also. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Well, voices, plural.
Oh, yeah, that's true. My voice sounds like garbage right now, though.
I haven't watched any of your videos, so you're not my favorite faces yet. Watch it. Get on it. Because
YouTube.com/scarish. Twitch.tv/scarish podcast.
Yeah. Okay, so this is pretty silly and a little weird, and I think y'all will love it. My mom started working at this cafe when she was 16-ish and worked there for 40 years. Dang, that's dedication.
That is dedication. Shout out to your mom.
I have 5 siblings, and we have all worked there as well. That's pretty cool, keeping it in the family. I even bought it at one point. Oh, that's amazing.
That is amazing.
So we could keep working there and seeing our customers who we considered family. Sadly, I could only keep it running for a year or two before I had to sell. Anyway, we're in a very small town, and that cafe was basically my second home. So no surprise that since we all basically grew up in that place, we all formed bonds with the old farmers and their wives who came by for coffee every day. We learned so much from these men and women. It was like having 70 sets of grandparents. That's awesome.
That is awesome.
Which was awesome. On your birthday when everyone was handing out shiny gold dollars. But there was also the downside to having friends in their 60s, 70s, and 80s. They are old.
Can you pause really fast and let me know who this is from again?
Sorry, hold on. Alicia.
Alicia's watching right now on YouTube.
Oh, cool.
She said that we weren't her favorite faces yet because she hasn't seen us yet. She's watching right now. We just told you should watch us while we're reading your story. She's here right now.
Is that the right Alicia?
Yeah, it says, I'm watching tonight. Heart,
cute.
heart, heart. So there you go. Thank you so much for joining us. Oh my God, we're reading your story. It's so exciting.
Getting close to the end of their time. My family has lost a lot of grands over the years. One man sits heavy on my mind all the time. We called him Smitty, and he was so sweet. I met him when I was 10, and he was in his early 80s. I was sitting at the soda bar having my afternoon snack, that's adorable, and trying to do homework, and he leaned over my shoulder and just started helping me, which became our routine. That's so cute.
That is super cute. I want to just interject, because I do that, but I want to just interject and say, like, I know we just talked about how creepy it is when, like, Paradise Lost scenarios where you think you're going to get kidnapped. I think a lot about the fact that I had adult friends growing up. Like, there's a guy that lived next to us named Frank who used to hang out with me and my brother, which is kind of like, I realized a way to, like, get us out of our parents' house, but, like, he was incredibly sweet, and he taught us to, like, be very nice to strangers. And there was a guy that lived near me when I was growing up in a different location who I used to go play Chinese checkers with, and he was a super nice old man. His name was Mr. Paul. And, like, I was 7 years old, and, like, it's weird. You think it's kind of weird for, like, old people or older people, and now I'm probably the age that Frank was when he started hanging out with me to, like, spend time with little kids. But they're also very formative, and you shouldn't, like, be wary of that all the time. Like, it's a good thing to be aware, but, like, I don't know. Like, I have great memories thinking about stuff like that. So it's super cool that you had this guy that, like, leaned over and started helping you. Like, that immediately made me think of those two people in my life.
He was close with my mother as well, and all of my other siblings, who ranged from 21 to 3 years old at the time. And his family was not interested in him or his old man ways. Oh, that's
so
stupid.
sad.
So he was a pretty lonely guy. We just loved this man. He came to dance recitals and band shows and ball games. Everything he was invited to, he came. And one Sunday, when Mom was cooking dinner, which is an important side note where we are Southern, so mom always has gravy of some kind with our dinner. The phone rang and my mom answered. It was Smitty, and he had called to tell her to come to dinner with him. She politely declined because there were at least 4 kids home with her and she was cooking dinner. He responded with, quote, I invited the whole family, young lady, and you always scorch the gravy anyway, end
Wow,
quote.
that's hilarious.
Sure enough, because she had stepped away from the stove, the gravy scorched and was ruined, and so she trashed the rest of dinner, and we went out for our first Sunday family dinner with Smitty, who let us kids order anything off the menu we wanted and reserved the restaurant's party room for just us so the kids wouldn't have to sit still all the time. This man was my favorite grand. He would call every Sunday and tell my mama that she burnt the gravy and that we needed to meet him at the restaurant, inevitably.
That's so funny.
New sentence. Inevitably, age caught up with him and he passed away. That's a much sadder sentence.
That's so sad.
That is super, super sad. I don't know how to read. We were sad, but knew he was at peace. We did the funeral thing and said our goodbyes. The Sunday following his funeral, Mom was in the kitchen cooking, and we were all watching TV in the living room, kind of just realizing that this is the first Sunday that we will be having family dinner without him. And then the phone rang, just like it normally did. I swear on everything, y'all. Mama dropped her spoon and turned around with a dead serious look on her face and said, quote, no one touched that fucking thing. We've already said goodbye, end quote. Oh my God, I got chills.
I got chills too. I got chills all over that. Like, oh my God.
Are they multiplying?
Yes. I'm losing control.
Do you think you like it?
What?
Oh, I don't know.
You shifted songs. That got weird.
And then it stopped ringing. I'm in my 30s now, so we didn't have caller ID, but Mama just knew it was something, and she noped right the fuck out of it. Okay, that's all. Feel free to share. And I 1000% love how wonderful you two are and encouraging and caring of your fans. Keep on creeping. Thank you so much, Alicia. That's such a good story.
That's an excellent story.
And it's so great that you got to have these people in your life.
I think it's such a good email because like I haven't thought of like Mr. Paul or our neighbor Frank in such a long time. I remember this, my neighbor Frank, when he was teaching me, like, I asked my neighbor Frank why he flipped me off because we were driving to my house in his car because it was raining and he didn't want me to walk home. And he was like changing the radio station with his middle finger, and he's like, oh, if you're using it for something, you can do stuff like that, which gave me an excuse to use my middle finger on stuff to flip my brother off for like the next 6 months. So it's a really cool story. I really like it. It's like the idea of found family is so important because some people feel like they're just ignored or unnecessary or discarded. You know what I mean? And that's not their fault. It's someone else's fault who have a deficiency as a person to not love someone who loves you. And sometimes you just don't. Like sometimes people have that disconnect with family members, and it's always nice to hear stories of like finding family in like the least likely of places.
My best friend growing up, where she lived, they had a neighbor who was a much older Japanese man, and he lived by himself. His name was Kit. And when I was in elementary school and middle school, he was there. And I think he died when we got to high school. But he would always like give us all these fruits and stuff like that, and just be the nicest person, invite us over to check out like his whole setup that he had because he gardened a lot and stuff like that. And I think in middle school we did an interview with him for a report, or maybe it was high school. I don't remember, but we interviewed him because he was alive during World War II.
Yeah.
And so it was crazy, this interview that we had with him. I wish I kept all my documents from when I was a little kid, but it was crazy. He was really nice. And sometimes those elderly neighbors or people that you see every day don't have family all the time.
There's a really good episode of Seinfeld, and I know you've never seen the show, but essentially they all decide that they're going to give something back to the community, and they all start volunteering at different places. And Elaine decides she's going to volunteer at an old folks home, and you just sit with an elderly person and talk to them. And the elderly person she sits to talk with has a very large goiter on her neck, which looks like another head. And she says like she wants to talk to her, but she can't stop like trying to avoid eye contact and all this other stuff. And then at the end of the episode, they're like trying to talk, and she says like, why don't you talk to me? And she tells her something like risque, something like raunchy, like, I'm having problems with my boyfriend because of this sex thing. And the old lady like recommends something, and she's like, that's a really good idea. And she's like, I once had an affair with Gandhi. And she's like, she looks directly at the camera because the camera is supposed to be the old lady. She's like, what? And she's like, oh, yeah. And then she starts talking about this affair she had with Gandhi. She's like, he used to rub his bald head in oil and rub it all over my body. And then Elaine
gross.
can't stop looking at this lady because she's telling her all this stuff. It's like, the shit your parents and grandparents and elderly people can tell you is so valuable. And they probably have stories that'll blow your mind or make you laugh your ass off. Like, there's just this whole, however old you think you are, imagine how much more shit you're going to go through between now and however old that person is that you could talk to. And then think like, am I going to be interesting to talk to at that age? They probably are too. Hashtag just saying. So right on. Let's look over into stream chat and see what you folks had to say. Spectral Gaming says they sent us the email. Awesome. Thank you so much. With a story, which I appreciate very much. Alicia says, I love all the stories we got from our old folks in that cafe. We love them too. That's super cool.
The Snark says, I went to a neighbor's house to watch a movie once. My parents were so mad at me. Let's see.
Anna says they always have the best stories in regards to old people. Very true. Alicia says, so much wisdom. I wish I would have listened better back then. I think everyone does at some point. And I think all you can really do is tell someone something they'll need to know once they make the mistake instead of just telling someone, like, don't do this because I said so. Alicia says, side note, I tuned in tonight because I was feeling super lonely. Thanks for reading my story. I think that worked out really well. Thank you for tuning in.
Keegan Wins Forever says, let's go, let's play Overwatch. Oh, okay. I'm trying to read that correctly. So, saying we should play Overwatch. And then Meadows says we should play Mario Party.
Mario Party would be also super fun. I'm always down for Overwatch.
We need to do a Super Smash one.
Smash would be really
Smash would be super really fun. But I'm really bad at it. Adam's really good. I just kind of button mash.
She does. It's a really good question, Anna. Are you on the Discord? If not, I'm going to post the Discord to the chat. That way you can join in on it if you would like to. And hopefully it actually works. I haven't used this link since my thing broke down. But yeah, Discord's really fun because we have conversations. Yes, it worked. We have conversations on there all the time about a variety of different things. So,
let's see. Kiki Wins Forever says, hi, Robin. Just saw that you have Todoroki on your laptop. I just want to say Froppy is better. Sorry.
Wow.
I drew Froppy. I have a print of Froppy and a bunch of acrylic charms of Froppy on my Etsy shop that I've made. So if you go to robinsquietcorner.etsy.com, I have a sale going on all my acrylic charms. So if you love Froppy, that's there for you.
It's hilarious.
Let's see.
Also, Spectral Gaming, don't worry. I put the email in there. Send it over whenever you're ready. And if it doesn't work for whatever reason, hit us up. We have all those different social medias. And we'll figure out a way to communicate with each other. No big deal. Don't be nervous.
Albrain asks if we've watched The Curse of the Weeping Woman yet. We haven't. We haven't watched La Llorona coming out.
We have not watched La Llorona.
Detective Pikachu comes out this week.
It's December. It's December. It's May 10th. So
May
it's
10th,
next week.
next week.
It's the day before my birthday.
It must be out this week in Japan because...
That would make sense.
Yeah, because I follow a bunch of people in Japan on Twitter, and they're saying it comes out this weekend.
That is one of my favorite trailers I've seen in a long time, the Detective Pikachu, the second trailer.
You just like where he's like, Pika, Pika?
That's what you like. I like the fact that Holding Out for a Hero is playing in the background because it is the best song to have on a fucking Detective Pikachu trailer. It is so cool, and it culminates and rises through the whole song, and when it crescendos, Mewtwo shows up in the trailer. Like, when I watched that trailer, I was like, I cannot believe how excited I am for this stupid movie, but I'm super jacked. Someone posted a picture of Pikachu from Detective Pikachu and Sonic from the Sonic the Hedgehog trailer, which I have not watched yet, and they said this is really just the beginning of a Super Smash Brothers cinematic universe, which would be amazing. I can't imagine what that movie would be like, just saying. So, cool. I am done with my stream chat. What about you? I see you typing away over there.
I'm good. I'm done.
Awesome. So, I will wait for you to be done typing, and then I will go ahead and read my next one. You look like you're done.
I'm done.
Cool. So, I'll move into my last one of the show, and this one's subject is my sleep paralysis experience. And I will say, this one is kind of long, so hopefully my voice doesn't go between now and the end of it. But it starts out like this. Hi, Adam and Robin. Hello.
Hello.
My name is Kayla, and I first found your podcast on Spotify. Shout out Spotify. Binged it and have been a long-time listener ever since. First, yes, you can read this story on the pod. More importantly, I love what you guys do and the Scariest community built around this incredible podcast. We
I
love it
love
too.
everyone.
You guys are fantastic.
Yeah, like seriously, we could not ask for more supportive people. It's just so cool.
We really couldn't. Here's the thing. The people we have, we couldn't ask them to be more supportive. I would ask for more of those people because you guys are amazing, and I hope there's so many more of you out there that we can all just keep bringing more people in. Because it's really nice to have something that exists that is actually a community where it's not toxic. And like we're very dedicated to keeping that, especially Robin. She's like Banhammer 101. She's like, if you mess around, like you get the Banhammer. So I don't know. It's just super cool. Continuing on this email. I appreciate the new changes as far as with story times only being read on the Storytime episodes because for me, the bread and butter are the topic episodes.
Oh,
Some
cool.
people feel like that. Some people feel it's the story episodes. I wish I had a money tree dubbed just for this podcast so I could support you more in what you do. But since I'm nowhere near a millionaire status, I will continue to give what I can via Patreon. Thank you so much.
So much. We seriously could not do it without all of our patrons that we have, even if it's just $1 or $3. It does help.
It helps a lot.
Seriously, while Adam was unemployed, it helped us out a lot.
Yeah, it really, really did.
Yeah, it was really helpful.
And then it continues to say, you guys are my Starbucks coffee.
Aw,
it's so nice.
Thank you.
We're
yeah,
glad.
considering Starbucks coffees now, a venti costs $6.
It's a lot.
It's insane.
That being said, if I ever win the lotto TV show, I'll produce. Yeah, we're down with that. I like that. Anyway, I was funny today because I was literally like getting coffee ready for this. And I was like, I want to be Unsolved Mysteries, but sometimes I feel like I'm hosting World of the Psychic, which is it's the show that Peter Venkman hosts at the beginning of Ghostbusters 2. And he's like, where do you find these people? Like, why can't we get anyone good? And someone's like, no respected psychic will come on the show. Everyone thinks you're a fraud. And he goes, I am a fraud. And I'm like, I'm not a fraud. I don't want to be a fraud. I was like, give myself this pep talk of like, be Unsolved Mysteries. Like, don't be a fraud. Anyways. And it literally says anyway as the next word. I was amongst the crowd of listeners who, quote, meant to write in, but never got around to it until now, clearly. And I hope you enjoy the story, so here goes. For as long as I remember, I've always had odd experiences related to sleep and dreams. These experiences range from recurring dreams of being abducted by monsters who I later in life realized were versions of my, quote, imaginary friends. And in parentheses it says, and before you freak out, they were nice monsters like the ones from Where the Wild Things Are. It's a good distinction to make.
Yeah.
To not so nice experiences with nightmares that could probably give Stephen King a run for his money. If he had those, he'd write books about them because if Stephen King has one bad experience, he writes a book about it.
Yeah, but the what is that? The Shining, his dream wasn't even scary.
Yeah, he said he had a creepy dream in a room, and that's how he wrote The Shining.
A fire hose chased his kid around. That was the dream.
It's so funny.
It just...
What's great is I was about to say anyway, and the next line in the email is, anyway, the story that sticks out above the rest is my earliest experience with sleep paralysis. That was something jewelry on your hand just smashing into the table. With sleep paralysis, which happened when I was around 6 years old. It's become my go-to story when exchanging real-life paranormal stories with friends, mostly because it left a big impression on me and because it resurfaced much later in life. We'll get into that later. Oh, shit. There's a callback. Is this a long
one?
Yeah, it's a long one. I
right.
warned at the beginning. I feel I must explain the layout of my childhood room so that everyone will have a better idea of the setup in which this story plays out. This is really, really well written. My childhood home was originally a 2-bedroom house. However, we were a family of 5, including my parents, brother, sister, and yours truly. The house was originally my uncle's, but he had sold it to my parents so we could move in. Sorry, dogs. This house was originally my uncle's, but he had sold it to my parents so we could move over to Florida from Puerto Rico. Shout out to Puerto Rico.
Oh, nice.
So that my older
like
sister, it's like my grandfather and my parents. Not my parents, my dad and his siblings. Anyways, so that my older sister could get the speech therapy she needed as a child.
That's great.
It was the late 80s, so that type of service was not available on the island. Side note, I was just under a year old coming over, so Adam, I 100% sympathize with being a Puerto Rican who does not speak fluent Spanish as well. In parentheses, try as my parents did to get me to speak it. Yeah, my parents were just like, or at least my dad for sure was like, yeah, I'm not going to teach this to you. I was like, why?
Well, I know when I was growing up, I don't think my mom started trying to force me to learn Vietnamese until I was maybe 7 or something. I was a lot older already, so I was at the point where I was like, I don't want to sit around and have you like try and force me to learn this thing. I think I remember the first word my mom tried to teach me was knife.
Wow.
So I was like, I'm not getting it. I mean, I can now and I can understand it now, but it's just like them trying to force you to learn. It's hard. It's very hard when you already speak English to have them try to teach you and get this other language.
That's another reason my father was super nervous, because growing up he learned Spanish, and then my grandparents taught him English because they wanted him to be educated and to not get shit basically for where he grew up. And so he would go to school and he stuttered because it was his second language and he was struggling with it. And then as he got better with English, he slowly started to forget Spanish and he had to be retaught Spanish. And he's still not very confident in his Spanish speaking. He can carry on conversations very well, but is just one of those things where it's like he struggled through that. And so he was like, I'm not going to teach it to you. Like, you don't need it. You're growing up in Northwest Indiana, in Podunk, Indiana. Your last name is Diaz. You're going to have to deal with enough. So I still wish he would have taught it to me. Being bilingual is so very important, or at least multilingual. Don't limit yourself to two. Anyways, and it literally says, anyways, my parents, being the type of people they are, in
it's like
parentheses,
they know us.
right? They work with what they're given. Instead of looking for a bigger home, they decided to close off the garage and convert it into 2 bedrooms, adding the extra needed rooms to the house. It's very smart.
That's super smart.
The renovation included building an exterior wall where the garage door used to be and installing a big window in the middle of that wall. This side was to become my room. Then the area was divided into 2 rooms by installing a back-to-back closet.
Is going to happen in there.
Right, a back-to-back closet in the middle of the space. I've seen those back-to-back closets where like you could actually worm your way into the other person's room. It's like sliding, like imagine sliding doors, but on the other side, like there's sliding doors. They don't exactly line up. Like it's a really wide closet. At least it was in the scenario I'm talking about, where like half the closet's dedicated to one room, half the closet's dedicated to another room, but it acts as like a barrier between the rooms. So you don't have to do like a full wall, and it adds like functional closet space.
All right.
This has been my TED Talk. You're welcome, Property Brothers. So I don't know what either of those words mean. So and both of those expressions don't make any sense. I'm going to keep going.
Okay.
The area was divided into the rooms, blah, 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 blah. The structure only came out to about 3/4 the width of the room, leaving a small hallway in the middle to go back and forth from room to room. So yes, I would have to walk through my sister's room to leave my room. It was odd, but my sister and I always got along just fine, so it worked out for us. That's a good thing. There's a lot of siblings who that wouldn't work out for, namely myself and my brother. Outside of my room's side window, next to the house, was an exterior water pump that sounded like a loud generator. To be honest, thinking back, I'm not quite sure what its purpose was, but I'll just call it the water heater for the sake of the story. Because my room was the one closest to the water pump, I had grown accustomed to the sound of it cranking up for about a minute or so, then stopping. It became my quote-unquote white noise, as I expected it to happen a few times a night. So I think you can get used to a lot of stuff. I lived right by train tracks at one point.
Yeah, I lived, like my house was right where the highway was, so you just heard cars constantly.
And it just becomes like the background noise of your life.
Right.
Yeah, I had train tracks right by me, and if like a big freight train was just barreling through, it would shake my house. And at some point I was just like, I'm just going to lean into this and act like it's like a vibrating feature on my couch or chair or bed or whatever I was sitting on at the time.
I want to sneeze.
I know, I'm watching you like fight it off, and it's hilarious. This is so funny. I hope you folks over there are betting for when she's going to sneeze. So, one night, as I was drifting off to sleep, the moonlight from the large window lit up the room so that I could see everything dimly lit. I had just rolled over to my side as I heard the water pump outside start up. I sleepily opened my eyes as if on cue. This apparition appeared to crawl out from behind my nightstand. The sound of the generator stopped, and I froze, completely paralyzed, but unsure what I was looking at. It was a dark figure, very tall, which appeared to take the form of the Grim Reaper.
Yeah, no.
Just challenge him to a game of Twister. You will be fine.
What?
It's from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Never
You really
seen
need
it.
to see the Bill and Ted's. It has Kukanu Reeves in it, for God's sake.
Yeah,
It's
I
amazing.
know.
They're making a 3rd one.
We just gotta hurry up and do all these episodes for this podcast.
Now
man.
that the whole like con is done and we can actually dedicate some of our free time to something else, that podcast is going up. I'm not giving any dates, not saying anything else. It's just gonna go up, and I'll be like, it's up, bitches. Go rate it and review it. Okay, the figure had on a black hooded cloak. It had skeletal hands with long bony fingers grasping at a sickle. This definitely sounds like the Grim Reaper. This thing, whatever it was, began to circle my bed. It didn't walk. It was more like a floating glide. Just like the man with the top hat from Haunting of Hill House. in parentheses, imagine adult me watching that scene. Can you say triggered?
Yeah,
That's hilarious.
Oh my gosh, that character is one of the scarier characters. It's like a big slender man looking dude.
Yeah. I couldn't move. In my 6-year-old mind, all I could think was the blanket on top of me would somehow protect me, which we always say is clearly a shield between light and darkness. It's a blanket.
Legit.
I've lost my place. I closed my eyes and repeated to myself, it's not real. It's not real. For God knows how long. Eventually, though, I didn't see it leave. I felt its presence lift and tested my fingers and found I could move again. So I mustered up enough courage to pull the blanket over my head and held my breath to still my beating heart. Just then, the thing re-entered.
No, shut up.
Re-entered my side of the room and began to circle my bed once more. And they're not in sleep paralysis anymore.
Oh, no. No. That's like that your nightmare has become like real life.
Right? It reappeared gliding down the hall from the direction of my sister's room. I peered through my blanket. In parentheses, it was an old-fashioned knitted blanket with a lot of tiny holes. Which
No, that's horrifying.
That's just, pretty sure that's not a solid shield.
That's not a shield.
Also, they're really bad blankets. Like, it just lets in the cold. And I saw the figure stop, crouch over me, and point its bony finger at my forehead.
Shut up.
And I shit you not, I remember the feeling of the tip of its finger scratch my forehead as if it was marking me. Just then, the sound of the generator outside started back up, and it just disappeared. Gone. That generator is the best watchdog you ever had growing up.
Yeah, no.
That's so creepy.
I'm just imagining that Michael J. Fox movie where they...
The Frighteners.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of too, where he numbers things after he kills it.
Yeah.
Though. And he dresses up like the Grim Reaper in that too. So, good stuff. I didn't get much sleep that night, and from what I can remember, I stayed under that blanket too afraid to move. The next morning, I chalked it up to a nightmare.
I thought you chucked out that blanket because
Right?
it didn't protect you enough.
I could see through it. I hate this fucking blanket. I decided not to tell anyone, lest I be called crazy or told I was making it up, especially being the youngest of my family who would believe me. Well, it wasn't until many years later when I was around 18 years old when we went on a family road trip that this story resurfaced in my life. This is going to get creepy. I already know it. My mother was talking about scary experiences she had growing up in Puerto Rico, and she was talking about a very vivid nightmare she had when she was a child.
It's going to be the same thing.
I then opened up about this experience, and that, my friends, is when my older sister chimed in saying she had the exact same experience, saw the exact same figure on the exact same night. I am covered in cold chills, and I'm not wearing pants. I was about 6. She must have been around 10 years old at the time. She also decided never to tell anyone about it lest she be called crazy. And side note, I don't think she was doing it just to get attention, in parentheses, as sisters sometimes do, because as I said, the figure had gone to her side of the room at some point during that encounter. She puts in of the third kind, haha. Of course, my mom was shocked that neither of us had ever said anything to her. She's a very religious person from a Catholic upbringing, and since she's experienced her fair share of the paranormal, she advised us if anything of the sort happened again to lean on our faith to get us through it. I've gone on to have a few other sleep paralysis experiences, though they're very infrequent now and none as remarkable as that one. Sometimes I wonder about what it was, or if maybe it marked me as a child for some cool reason. Like if I was supposed to grow up to be a badass demon slayer or something, but I'm 32-year-old with kids of my own now, so I'm pretty sure that time is long past. Well, thank you for reading my story. I hope it wasn't too long and that you enjoyed it. It was amazing, and we definitely enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I certainly got chills recounting it to myself. Keep on creeping on, your faithful listener, Kayla. Kayla, that was fucking
thank you so
incredible.
Much. Yeah, that was really good.
And I just want to give a shout out to 777 who just donated $6.90, and it says No Pants Alliance. Woot woot. I debated about sharing that deal, about sharing that detail, so I'm glad I did, obviously. That's really good, man. And like being a kid and seeing something that looks like the Grim Reaper is creepy enough. Having your sleep paralysis end and it still be there is just like an extra notch. And the fact that it scratched your forehead is super creepy. Like, shout out to Amy Chibi who just followed us on Twitch. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Maybe it was like marking you, like to be like, no, this one's good, dog. Like maybe they're looking for stuff to collect. And he's like, if I draw something here, then I'll have my Reapers come and take this one. If I draw something this way, it'll be good to go. So I don't know.
I just am imagining a really bony tip just touching.
Sounds hot.
Ew. Anyway.
That is a really, really good story. It's a
That is a
really
very
creepy
good story.
And if you have other ones, please share. I would love, and I mean absolutely love, if your sister were to tell us what she saw that night. I cannot help but feel like I need to know what happened in that other room. Even if it was just the same thing, I want to hear the description. So you should have her write it and send it up to us. And also have your sister listen to this episode when it comes out, which comes out this Friday. That was fantastic.
Trip 7 says, what if the apparition drew a dick on your forehead?
That's so
That's like
funny.
the 21st century type of Reapers. Like,
I would do that if I was a
need to do
Reaper.
it.
So I posted this meme on the Scary Spooky Friends group on Facebook, and it was give a man a fish, teach him to eat, or Jesus Christ, give a man a fish, he eats for a day. Give a man a pen, he'll probably draw a dick. And I put it up there. I was like, me. And when I woke up this morning, my friend had messaged me a picture of this whiteboard his wife had gotten where she keeps track of everything. And every time she puts date night, he underlines it. And the underline he's drawing is a dick.
Oh, my God.
And he's like, she doesn't like this. How does she not see it's romantic? And I was like, how is she supposed to know that after date night, it's dick o'clock?
Oh,
like, these are important skills.
I had to teach my coworker about the Pen 15 thing.
How do you not know about Pen 15?
I-
By the
She was
way,
like,
if you
"What?
don't
What's
know,
Pen 15?"
Pen 15 is you spell pen in capitals and then 1-5 for Pen 15 because it looks like penis. So
Yeah, growing up, I was like, you never heard of the Pen 15 Club? Oh, my God.
yeah, one of the first guilds I made on World of Warcraft was called Pen 15, and 15 was spelled out. So shout out to Queen Caffeine who just subscribed
Thank you so much.
for the first month on Twitch, and they used
Welcome
Prime,
to being
which means
a
that they didn't
subscriber.
spend any money. They spent
Yes.
Amazon's money.
Go
Robin,
to twitch.amazon.com. Check it out. If you have a Twitch account and you have an Amazon Prime account, you connect the two. You get one free subscription.
you connect the two literally by just saying, like, this is my Amazon stuff, and Twitch is like, oh, cool, dog. Here's a bunch of free shit, including $5
Yes.
a month.
They a lot of the time they do like Overwatch loot boxes, which is great.
You
do
get a
those
lot
all
of
the
free
time.
stuff in games you might be playing. So if you have Amazon Prime and you listen to us, go to Twitch, link those accounts, and that free $5 goes away every month. They give you a new $5 at the beginning of each month, but subscribe to our channel and give that to us. We'd super appreciate it. All right, let's look over in stream chat. I'm really curious to see what you folks had to say about that story because I thought that was a really, really, really good story.
The Snark says, build a man a fire, he stays warm for a night. Set a man on fire, and he's warm for the rest of his life.
That's 100% true. That's fucked up.
Let's see. Chessie Cat says, maybe I have so many blankets because I subconsciously think they keep me safe.
That might be.
Trip 7 says, I have one comforter that I had since I was 15 and I love it still. I have no blankets from when I was a little kid. I think I have a baby blanket at my mom's house and that's it. A blanket that I love is something that's really, really, really soft, but thick enough where it's warm. No holes. Can't do with the holes. I can't do with the thin material like a bed sheet. When people just sleep with the bed sheet, I'm like, what are you doing? That sheet goes under you. Which I know not a lot of people actually do. I'm sure. I don't know. Anyway, but I need a nice, comfortable, warm, soft, fluffy blanket.
It's pretty specific.
Yeah.
I just need a blanket that I can have a little bit of since you steal most of it.
Thank you.
But I do get enough of it nowadays. We got a giant blanket.
It's
Shout out to Gabriella, who had this giant, amazing blanket when we spent the night at her house. We're like, we need one.
And I had to go to Costco and get it.
We got it almost immediately after we got home. So Akbar had to bail and said bye. Maybe see us on Discord.
Bye.
Alicia says, my kids are so excited for Detective Pikachu, as they should be. A bunch of people said bye to Akbar. Anna says, I have no children, but I am also super excited for that movie. And Kat said, I am a child, LOL.
I'm so excited for this movie. I love Pokemon so much. Get Pokemon. I have been so stoked since they announced this movie. And I posted on my Twitter a picture of my Detective Pikachu amiibo that I got a long time ago. And I posted a picture of it, and I tagged the Detective Pikachu movie, and they actually liked my post.
The official account liked your post,
like,
and she wound up getting triple digits in likes on her post.
No, I only think I got double digits.
No, you got, I'm pretty sure you hit triple, because I was super, super effing jealous.
I don't know, but I was just like, Senpai noticed me. It was great.
So funny.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm super excited. I hope it's good.
Alicia also says, I'm excited that they asked me to come watch with them. LOL, but I think it looks cute. It's going to be funny. It's Ryan Reynolds' voice. How can you go wrong? And if it's not good, just close your eyes and picture Ryan Reynolds. That's all you got to do.
the scene where Pikachu's like at the cage and is just shaking the cage like, get me the hell out of here.
Yeah, that's so funny. Average Gamer 369 is now following us on Twitch.
You so much.
Average Gamer. We appreciate you. Kat says, I started knowing Viet, then English took over. It is hard learning a language like Viet when you're not exposed to it often enough. Trying to learn it when I can.
Yeah. I know my dad was in the U.S. Army, so he spoke English to us all the time. And my mom would be the only one that spoke Vietnamese to us. And then we would hang out with our dad all the time, and then he'd speak English to us. And so it was just really hard to get into the flow of just hearing Vietnamese all the time because you're hearing English most of the time. You're at school, you're hearing English, and you're at home, and half your parents are speaking English, and it's just gets hard. It's really hard. It's like when I learned Japanese, I have no friends to speak Japanese with, and so you don't
That's why they say the best way to learn the language is just to move to a culture where they're just going to speak it to you all the time. And I 100% agree. Spectral sent their email. Thank you, Spectral. We appreciate it. Alicia says, needs a better blankie. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Like, if you have a blanket that you can see through and you're trying to hide from it, like, that ain't going to work. Just saying. Ulysses gives a thumbs up. This is for you, Ulysses. Thank you.
Queen Caffeine says, Robin's double take when she realized Adam wasn't wearing pants was fabulous.
That's so funny. I have been walking around in my underwear since I got home.
I haven't. I've been looking up, right? I've been looking up and looking at him like this. There's no reason for me to look down.
Yeah,
and
there
so
is. I have to tell her on multiple occasions that my eyes are up here. Just saying, don't act like Mrs. Innocent.
It's because I want to bite your tummy.
Don't hurt me. Kat says, and you already did this incidentally. Kat said, describe the perfect blankie. And Alicia replied, big, very, very big, fluffy, pink, soft, smells like Gain laundry soap. That's pretty awesome. Kat says, sounds like an excellent blanket. Burrito tortilla. I need one. Those tortilla blankets blew the fuck up somehow. And I think it's hilarious because someone was like, maybe we should make it look like a tortilla. And it's the best decision they've ever made in their life.
The Snark says gravity blankets are amazing. I really want to try one. Never done it.
Alicia says, I want a weighted tortilla blanket. That's so fucking funny. Kat says, Emma says hi. She has to study. She has a final to study for. Hi, Emma.
I should be studying for my finals. That would be the smart thing to do.
Alicia says, my mama's name is Emma. That's perfect. Cute.
Jaxie Babe says, depression episode called for weed and laying down, just listening to them talk until I sneezed my brains out during the penis talk. Girl Panic says bed sheets are just ghost skinned.
That's funny. That's a really good joke.
The Snark says Detective Pikachu amiibo ? Yes, I have a Detective Pikachu amiibo. It's like the normal amiibos were like that tall, and the Detective Pikachu one's huge.
It's enormous.
Oh yeah, it's right there. Oh,
I was gonna say, don't grab it. They'll see you in your underwear, but you're wearing pants.
I'm not in my underwear. I'm wearing shorts. But yeah, it's cute. It's on my Twitter. You can go look at it. Let's see.
Alicia says maybe a PETA pocket blanket. Maybe that's funny. Spectral warns us to look out for a podcast called Up All Night. Everyone, keep your eyes out for that bastard.
What?
What?
What is that?
They got kicked out of their podcast.
Oh, okay.
Kat says, wait, no, non. So basically, we're going to go through every piece of bread that there is out there and say that we should have a blanket that's shaped
Pumpernickel.
like it. You guys want to pick up my Omen babies? We always want to pick up your Omen babies. Facebook, Twitter, or you can email them to us. We always want to see the Omen babies.
Yes, post it to Discord. All right. Trip 7 says they have finals tomorrow. Queen Caffeine says, can we get a scary-ish ghost-shaped blankie? It could keep me safe from the dark. That'd be so cute.
It should be our logo holding a fucking shield. How cool would that be? And looking scared, but like holding a shield like, oh no.
I'm just imagining Captain America's shield.
God, the movie was so good.
It was so good. Okay. Did I read my story? No, right?
No, you have the last one. Carrie says, brought both my girls home from hospital in my hubby's baby blanket. That
oh my gosh.
Awesome.
BT Dubs, Carrie, we're about to read your story.
Really?
What?
Perfect.
Yep.
Spectral says, I'm going to post it on Discord. Yes, thank you. And Alicia says, yes, I want a ghosty blanket. There's a lot of merch we would love to make. My friend reached out to me today this morning. Same friend who draws the dicks. That is not very descriptive. I have a million friends who draw dicks.
I was going to say, which one?
But Tim. My friend Tim reached out to me today, and he was
like...
Oh
my gosh. I was thinking it was Lee this whole time.
Lee doesn't draw good dicks. Lee's dicks look like weird balloons. So anyways, Tim reached out to me today, and he was just like, hey, like, have you guys thought about advertisers? Like, you have a really active community, and I think you guys could really do well. I'm just like, well, here's the thing. Like, we let advertisers reach out to us, and we've had multiple advertisers reach out to us. But the audience needs to be a little bit bigger for us to, like, be taken seriously if we're going to be in that market. and we're growing, and I don't think we're really in a big rush to bring in shit to shove down your guys' throat. We talk to you guys already about products that we really like, and it's not in an advertising fashion. It's in a like, hey, like we use this shit, you should use it. So when those two things line up, where when those two things align, where I did that
Only
today.
my sister will get it.
I did that today at work, and no one fucking knew what I was doing.
David, you have to make Janet watch it.
All right, I'm gonna finish this thought. When those two things align, if someone wants us to sell their product for them and they're willing to pay us, and we believe in that product, that's when we bring you that stuff. That's why we do modern physics all the time, because we believe in modern physics and they're fans of the show, and it's like that perfect sponsorship and just working out the price and making sure no one gets fucked over, because I don't want to fuck her over when it comes to paying us. And I also don't want to be like suckers. I know we're not going to get taken advantage of on her end. That's one of those really good partnerships. Those don't exist very often. You know what I mean? So that's one of those things where it's like, we're going to get there, but we're not going to worry about it. We're not going to try and just be like, all right, let's sell tampons or some shit because we want to have money.
I'll sell that. I use them.
I mean, you would. I always told people, like, first thing I get famous for, I'm selling out. I don't care. Like, I'll sell tampons. I'll put my face in a maxi pad. I don't even care. I'm not like that anymore because I respect you folks too much.
Okay.
So, good stuff. The
Weird.
alignment thing, for those of you watching. So, we went to New Jersey.
No, I don't want to talk about it.
You don't want to talk about it?
No.
So this is an inside family
It'll
joke
be an
forever?
inside family joke forever.
It's just something silly.
We'll save it for if one day we do an actual live
show? Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
You'll find out what that shit's all about.
All
But
right.
yeah, I did that at work today, and everyone's like, oh, I like that. And in my head, I was like, hey, you stupid assholes.
Did you do it during a meeting?
Yeah, during a big
my
meeting.
God.
So we were talking about like expectations versus like where we're at. And I was like, at some point, we're going to align.
Oh,
That's all I can think of since January.
I'll never do it. Okay, anyway. So this one is from Carrie.
This last one.
This last email of the night is from Carrie. And it goes, hi, Adam and Robin.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you for being on the stream today. Thank you so much for all your efforts with this podcast. You guys are so fun to listen to on my commute and also on Thursday afternoons while you're live streaming. Wednesday afternoons. Have we done it on Thursday before?
No.
Okay. Wednesday afternoons. Oh, maybe it's Thursday. Are you in a different country?
They might be.
Might be from a different country.
They might be in the future. I'm pretty sure our Australian viewers watch from Thursday.
Oh, cool.
Maybe the Philippines too.
Cool. While I sit at my desk at work. Oh, there it is. There it is. I'm from Melbourne, Australia. That makes sense.
Boom. Figured it out.
Yep.
Pretty proud of us.
And which is why it's on Thursday afternoon. Okay. We figured it out. Just took us a little while. Please feel free to share on the podcast, as I think this story shows that our loved ones keep watching over us after passing. My father-in-law was ill for a very long time, and at the end, he had all his family with him, and he quietly passed away during the night while everyone slept. As he lived in the country, only my husband went to go be with him. The next day, my girls and I traveled to be with the rest of the family. As you can imagine, everyone was very sad, but it was great to all be together to grieve. That night, we all went to bed very teary and somber. The next morning, everyone seemed a little brighter. It turned out that each of us had been comforted during the night by my father-in-law. He came and held each person's hand or patted their back while they wept, after which they were all able to sleep restfully. I have chills.
That's amazing. We've had an email similar to that, too. We've heard stuff like this before.
Yeah.
That's why I love getting these emails.
I love it. Of course, no one knew until my 8-year-old daughter asked my husband why he had come and sat on her bed and patted her back during the night. He replied that he hadn't, but had felt that Pops held his hand. That's when everyone shared their experiences. After the funeral, the whole family went back to my parents-in-law's home, as it was rare for everyone to be together at the same time. We took lots of photos. In every photo is a bright orb.
Wow.
These photos were taken by different cameras and from many different angles, yet an orb is in every one. That's crazy.
That's
crazy. Super crazy.
That is really good science right there. Like having multiple angles, having multiple cameras, and being able to confirm the same thing over and over. That makes me think. Like usually when I hear orbs, I'm like, it's dust. When I hear like multiple cameras, multiple angles, multiple lighting, like that's different. That's completely different.
I believe my father-in-law was with us and showing that he will never truly leave us. His orb has shown up in many photos of family occasions since. I've attached a gorgeous example. I believe in this photo he appeared to let us know that he was aware that he had a great-grandchild. Aww.
That's awesome.
Hope this brings some comfort to those who are missing past loved ones. Keep on creeping on, Carrie.
Thank you so much for sending that in.
That is such a good story. And it's nice when people have that
closure.
Closure.
Yeah, I think it's awesome that so many of you folks are so comfortable sharing that, because like a lot of us have gone through that and not everyone gets that thing, but I think a lot of people have had some sort of experience that they doubt or are just too skeptical to allow to like entertain the thought that it could have been something like that. And the more you hear it, I think that wall comes down a little bit more, because people that are very skeptical about a lot of things just don't want to like let anything in that is like unexplainable. When it comes to something like that, it's like it's very needed, you know what I mean? And for people who haven't experienced it, it's nice to know that when something like that does happen and your world is turned upside down, like it doesn't have to feel like the end, and it's a nice thing to feel. So thank you one more time for sending that in, and shout out to everyone who sent stuff in this week, because we appreciated every single one of them.
Yeah.
Excuse me, sorry. My voice is starting to go, but you know what time it is.
Tool time.
Marbles time. Thanks, Tool. But I'm going to read the rest of my chat. Then you can read yours. Then I'll get marbles on stream up, and we can all finish out the night with a couple of races for some free merch. And there wasn't a whole lot of extra stuff on my side. It looks like Akbar has returned, which I'm super happy to see.
Let's see. Girl Panic. No, Trip 7 says, I'm imagining Captain America's ass when you brought up the shield on the ghost blanket. And then Girl Panic says, America's ass.
That's so good.
Oh, man, that movie's so flipping good.
Spectral Gaming says the name of their pets, their Omen babies, are Ripley and Charlie. No joke, my childhood dog growing up's name was Ripley, so that's fucking awesome. Akbar says, I'm an adult and I want a ghost blankie. Spectral Gaming says, oh my god, I want one. Carrie says, oh my god, so excited. That's and then Akbar says, technically adult. That's funny. How many people do you need, Adam? I don't mind getting arrested for commanding my students.
That's hilarious.
Don't command them, because you know they're just going to review bomb our show, and we've gotten enough of that shit lately.
Trip 7 says, we believe in whatever lip balm you use, Adam. # luscious. This Great Coast says, have to miss the last story. Have an awesome night. Alicia, I loved your story. Thank you so much for this Great Coast. Hope you have a good night, too.
Spectral Gaming says, Ripley, as in kick alien ass, kill it. That's what our dog was named after, too. Sigourney Weaver's character from Alien, Aliens, Alien 3, Alien 4, all the other aliens.
I named my animals after Game of Thrones and anime, so...
It's pretty good shit, though.
I mean...
I've always had nerdy names, so... Carrie's here. Carrie was super excited, and when we were speculating where Carrie is from, she said Australia. Akbar says, Adam can confirm I am ahead. Your show is Thursday, 9:30 a.m. So
nice.
They watch from the future. Spectral Gaming says, I would love to talk to you. Discord after you're done with the pod. After I'm done with the pod, I have to edit this episode and post it on Patreon. So usually we don't make it in there. But sometimes we do pop over, and we can coordinate with you on Discord. A time we can have like a chat with some spooky friends, because there's a few other people that have said the same thing. So absolutely. Yeah. Akbar says, I will fly around the world to see that live show.
Aw.
I cannot effing wait to do a live show. Carrie says, oh my god, I'm crying. Thank you, guys.
Thank you for your story.
It is really hard to read those stories. And I'm just saying this because we're not putting, this part isn't in the episode. It's really hard to read those stories because then you think of your lost loved ones and you get a little bit emotional, but it's at the same time then you get to think of the things that have happened since they've been gone. And it makes you feel just a lot better about the fact. And then, like, I think sharing those stories is super fucking important. And I'm being dead serious when I say that. And it's not just because, like, it's something that you say. It's because every time you share that story, every time you share a story about how you lost someone and something reminded you that they were there or you feel like they were with you, all the people that you've lost that you just sort of go on with life and acknowledge the fact that they're no longer there. There are some days where you don't think of them. Some people you think of every single day. Some of us have lost a lot of people. And when you hear a story like that, you think about all of them. And when you think about them, they're not really gone. And so when we read those stories, I know we might bump some people out, but honestly, like, I want people to think about the people they've lost. Like, even if it like hurts a little bit, like, they deserve that. Like, when I'm gone, all you fuckers better think about me. Like, you better not think about me. That's just how I feel. So I always love reading those stories. So I'm so glad we still get them.
Let's see. Chessy Cat says they named their chickens, those 3 adorable chickens. You can check them out in Discord. Are named after the Powerpuff Girls, which is adorable. The movie podcast doesn't have a date of release yet, so once that's out, we'll let everyone know.
We have watched Empire Records. We just need to record. Then I have to watch Pretty Woman. Then we have our 3 episodes we can post.
Yeah.
The other thing that was holding us back, straight up from me to you guys, hosting costs money. And having a new podcast, I don't want to cross streams. I don't want to cross revenue streams. I don't want to use the money you guys donate for Scary-ish to post our new podcast.
For the new podcast.
Not going to do that. We have another Patreon set up for the other thing, which we're not going to share because I don't expect people to fund it until they hear it.
Yeah.
But realistically, it's like being unemployed for so long, we were just scraping by. I didn't get my first paycheck till 3 weeks after I started the job. my second paycheck hasn't even come in yet. So now that we're getting money again, I feel very comfortable getting this thing launched and off the ground. Okay, cool. Gonna read these last ones, and then I'm gonna get this shit open.
Okay. And then I'll get up so
Cool.
when the picture is small enough that
Spectral
you won't
Gaming
see my butt.
said, post the pictures in Discord. Check out the Omen Babies. It'll give you motivation for editing. Glitch says, yes, talk to us. It's a crisis at work. I'm doing my best to come back and forth. Thank you so much for sticking with us, Glitch. I know getting a fucking horse hit is crazy. Glitch says, I wake up and brush my teeth and am like, wonder what Scarish is doing. It's hilarious. Awkward says, Adam, I will remember you. Will you remember me? With a note symbol next to it. It's hilarious.
You know that song, right?
Yeah, I know that song.
Okay.
I just can't sing it right now because my voice is dead. And Spectral says, please go to Kansas next time and a Patreon push. I have some scary things. If we ever do live shows, I definitely want to stop by where our patrons and our friends and spooky friends are too. So
if we it's definitely way further in the future. Like the Winchester House definitely took a lot of funding on our part. So it's all just, can we get the funds to travel? Like going to the Stanley Hotel is going to be fairly pricey, and so we've upped the amount of patrons we need in order to get there. So one day we'll get there.
Realistically, if we ever start doing live shows, it will start in Las Vegas.
Las Vegas and California.
Yeah, and like Las Vegas, because there's so many hotels that have places you can book pretty cheap, and it's a pretty simple setup. But more importantly, like, we don't have to do the travel, so I don't have to take the whole studio setup because we only have one. We don't like have a travel studio setup or anything like that. And more importantly, we have a large fan base in Las Vegas and a large fan base in California that could make arrangements to come out here. And then when we can take the show on the road and come to you, that's when we're like next level shit, where we're taking leave of absences from work for our show. How cool would that shit be?
Jaxie Babe says, is there a podcast called You Haven't Seen That? There is a podcast called that. That is not us. Our podcast will be called Scene Missing. So SCENE Missing. There is also already a Twitter and an Instagram that we've been posting to.
We have a website also, themoviepod.com.
Oh, cool. Themoviepod.com. There you go.
My review for Shazam is up there as well.
Yeah. So you guys can totally check that out. Those are just little tidbits. We've just started, I guess, reviewing stuff.
You've known about that. You were supposed to supply me with a paragraph review to accompany my long review. So,
I just get distracted and then forget and then just don't do it.
Carrie says, Australia, please. That'll be fucking awesome. International. That'd be great. There's a lot of stuff over there. Akbar says, I was hoping for Adam to sing. I love to sing. I can't sing right now. I try and woo, and it just like, it's like this and just flattens out. So there's nothing I can do there. Spectral Gaming says, I have a graveyard next to my house. Would love to take you there. That's kind of creepy. Who else on here? Akbar says, you have a large fan base in the Philippines. For Christ's sake, you guys know what a Lolo is. Honestly,
yeah.
I think I might be able to go to the Philippines for work.
What?
Because we have a call
That'd
center
be
there.
cool.
And if I go, I'm totally doing some fucking meetups with our Filipino spooky friends.
You're going to do it without me.
I
Bye,
mean,
Felicia.
I'll let you come with.
I don't want.
They're going to pay all my shit. We just got to pay for you.
I'd be missing out on work too.
Well, yeah, but I mean, so...
Whatever.
I'd be there making money while I was there too. So, okay. So if you're watching on YouTube, switch over if you would like to race. Twitch.tv/ScarishPodcast, because it is time for marbles on stream. So those of you who have done this before know what's going on, so you don't need to listen to me, but I'm still going to talk. Those of you who have not done this before, all you need to do right now to vote on what track we are going to race is type !vote, then a space, then the number that corresponds to the track that you would like to race. And that will be the track, if enough votes are put in there, that we will race. And it's that simple. So Robin's grabbing her Detective Pikachu.
I'm grabbing my Detective Pikachu so you can see it. Boop. He's huge.
Don't shake the table or else he will take a spill. Are you going to join in?
Oh, yeah. Hashtag vote. What map do I want?
Exclamation point vote?
Oh, exclamation point vote.
Exclamation point vote space and then the number of the track you want to race.
Sure. That sounds good. Marble Century is the popular one, apparently. We've done that one before, right?
Pretty sure we have done that one before, but that's okay. It's your choice. It's the choice of the viewer. So if you guys want to race stuff we've raced before.
Ooh, I want Jollibee so
that's what
bad.
we're going to do.
Oh, we're going to Jollibee?
No.
Oh.
I was in a sentence and you interrupted me to talk about the fact that you want a Jollibee.
I want to go.
I'm like, where the hell is that noise coming from?
Your phone.
It's coming from my phone. Marble Centauri has 3 votes. Coils of Power has 2, and a lot of other things have 1. I don't like this new layout because you can't see like as easy as you could before. It's not that bad. I won't rag on it too much. We'll give it a little bit longer, and then we're going to go ahead and move forward with Marble Centauri. So if you would like to vote meow.
I have voted. I think it's, Albrain says, sucks to be Aussie sometimes. And I think the price that you have to pay for things is ridiculous in Australia. It's so expensive. Like a video game is almost $100.
That is insane.
It's insane. I can't even imagine having to do that.
So I'm going to go ahead and click Marble Centauri. It has now won officially. And this is what we're going to race. So get ready to type in !play to join in the race.
Joining in the race.
!play right now, and you can be part of this and maybe win some merch.
Oh, God, I gotta sneeze again. Oh, no.
All right, we have 16 marbles already in, 17, 18.
!play, everyone.
We had 19 to 20 last time, so we're right around where we were last time. So that's pretty good.
Yeah.
But keep joining right now. Looks like we got 19 in !play. And then once we click start, you'll have 10 seconds to join in. And hopefully you make it, you win, and it'll be a good time. So we have raced this before. When we raced this, Valley Grills won in 2 minutes and 38 seconds, which is very interesting. And it does not let me look at the track until once we get going. So once that happens, we'll see what we're in for. So I'm going to go ahead and click start for start countdown. You have 10 seconds from right now to type in !play and join in. I think it's hilarious that we have $6.90. What?
Oh,
what are you
no,
writing
just
about?
Nathan C says Albrain's the one that introduced them to the Scariest podcast. That's awesome.
That is awesome. Thank you, Albrain.
Everyone should just introduce their friends to us, and hopefully they like us. That would be
It's like if they don't like us,
amazing.
we would be hurt.
Yeah.
But we'd also understand a little bit, I guess.
We're not everybody's cup of tea.
Well, that really worked out for Cat Beatrix. They ran into a pole and just took off. Someone just got shot off the map and died.
What?
Not sure who it was. Valley Girls has already died. So we'll see what happens there. They haven't officially been eliminated. There we go. Valley Girls is dead. 777, blah. It doesn't even know who's in first place right now. This elevator throws things off because it just measures how far ahead you are. 777 is in first place, followed by the Snark, followed by a Nathan C. Someone is going to cruise right through there, and they're going to take over. But for right now, oh my God, this is going to get rough.
Stairs. This is bad.
Nathan C and the Snark are fighting it out. It's a pretty good angle, and you're dead.
Oh, you're dead
along
too.
with me. The Snark is now in first place.
What's the survival rate on this?
I don't know. It doesn't show them as conveniently as it did before. 777 and the Snark are in first place, racing it out right now, and they're trying to get through this loop-de-loop, and hopefully no one dies going through it. The Snark got stopped, but they did not die. 777 is extending their lead. I was thinking today about having Pancakes 29 has died. Rip Pancakes.
Oh, I thought you said I was thinking about having pancakes.
No, I was thinking about doing a Let's Play or just streaming some games because we got some free time. Rip Queen Caffeine, you just died too.
I
but
would
we'll see what
love
happens
to
with
do
it.
a Let's Play. I think it'd be really fun just because I honestly haven't played
Video games
in a month maybe. I haven't played.
Maybe longer. It's been a while.
I got Kingdom Hearts and I played Kingdom Hearts for a while. And then Fallout started coming up with all this new DLC. So I went and tried to play as much of the
New DLC.
Yeah, what is it called though? It was like Fashnacht or something.
It's West Virginia Mountain Mama.
Yeah, that thing. And
Cat Beatrix is in first place in case you folks haven't noticed.
didn't get to play
Cruising through these poles. I'm pretty sure Cat Beatrix just took the win.
Dang.
Congratulations, Cat Beatrix.
Again. I don't even know what I've sent to you yet.
I don't think they have a static cling. Just saying.
Are you sure? Okay.
If they want to pay it forward, they can pay it forward. But I think we have the static cling if we have some to
Or
send.
you can just message us or email us and let us know what you have or haven't gotten yet. And then I will mail that out.
And you also set the record for fastest completion. So congratulations. You stole it from Valley Grills. That's Valley Grills' ball right there. It looks like we had Several people beat the new record or make a new record.
So Trip 7 then is the next winner. If you would like to email us and let us know where you would like your stuff sent, just let me know. Since Cat Beatrix is passing it on to the next person. So that's Trip 7. Yeah.
Congratulations, Cat. You have won. You are the victor. Let's see the final results. Right now, you have 1 win.
Oh, I died.
Grand total of 10 points. Abe's Monster is in first place for the season with 15 points. Pretty good stuff. Chesty Cat has 8 points. And
so the
Robin Grace has 11 points. How are we letting this happen, people?
So Trip 7 said they're passing it on to the next person. So the Snarked is the next person, which means I'll bring some goodies. I should have given you some goodies when I met you.
I was shocked you didn't.
But when I see you, I'll give you a whole bunch of stuff, plus make dinner probably, or bring some sort of food.
Blanca Bella 23, by the way, has 9 points. Just wanted to say that.
Okay. Well, I have 11 points. I got a lot.
I know. I was complaining about it a second ago.
Oh.
All right. So we're going to do one more race for the night. So exclamation point, vote, space, the number that corresponds to the track you want to race.
I want to race in something good.
I am dying. All right, my vote is in. We'll see if it wins. Right now, all tracks are tied that have 1 vote. Anything with 0 is not winning. Shattered Dreams is now in first place. Temple of Steve and Shattered Dreams are now tied. I voted for Temple of Steve, just saying. We'll see if it wins. I want to traverse the Temple of Steve. It sounds pretty hot. Still tied, so we keep going back and forth. Looks like Rusty Remnant has 3 votes now. So Rusty Remnant and Temple of Steve are now tied.
Wow. We just got a whole bunch of followers on the movie podcast.
Did we?
Instagram.
That's hilarious.
For some reason.
Thanks to you folks. Wow. Okay. Shattered Dreams, Rusty Remnant, and Temple of Steve are all tied with 3. So if it is tied and we don't get another vote, I'll click tie, see if it does anything. If not, whoever won the last round, their track is listed here. So Cat Beatrix voted for Shattered Dreams, which is what we'll pick if clicking tied doesn't do anything. So we'll see. So Temple of Steve is now officially in first place. Oh, my mom is going to join us for the race.
She joined us the last race. You didn't see?
I didn't see, no. Did she
Or,
live?
well, she voted. I don't know if she actually joined. But she'll join this time.
All right, well, Temple of Steve is in first place. I'm going to move my mouse here and click it because it has 5. I think that means it wins. And anyone who needs to jump over to race can do so now. Twitch.tv/scarishpodcast. All right, exclamation point play is how you join. So just type that into the chat and you will have a marble with your name attached to it to win some stuff.
Hello, Spectral, for joining us on Twitch.
Thank you for joining us.
Don't forget to subscribe or, I don't know, follow. YouTube is subscribe. Twitch is follow.
You can subscribe here if you want to, but it'll cost you money.
Yeah. I mean, not unless you're doing it through Amazon Prime.
That'd be cool, too. You do you. We'd appreciate it if you subscribe. It is not necessary. Encouraged, not necessary. 19 marbles, although I feel like we should have 20. There we go. We got 20. We have at least everyone from last time, plus someone new. Awesome.
Exclamation point play, everybody.
Exclamation point play in the chat if you would like to race. And Jaxie Babe says, why do I start way in the back, LOL? Because if something dangerous shows up, you want someone else to be murdered. What's really funny is Cat Beatrix has the record for this track because we have raced Temple of Steve before, and I just forgot. So Cat Beatrix set the record for the previous track we raced earlier and has the record for the track we are racing now. So basically, we're all screwed and we're not going to win.
In? Exclamation point play, Linda? Is she in?
I don't know if Linda is in.
Just making sure.
No. No, Spooky Mom.
Sorry.
I don't know where the tissues went. They were behind me.
They are still behind you.
All right. I'm going to click this. You have 10 seconds, if you have not joined, to join in now. And then the race will begin.
Sorry.
I like that you're leaning towards the microphone to blow your nose.
Here's some ASMR
for the grossest ASMR of all time.
You know who's not here? Miss Deezy.
Miss Deezy is not here, which is weird. All right, this big funnel is boring. We all know this. It's going to take a while for us to get through. Until then, let's just sit here and watch this hole and see who makes it through. It looks like I might try and get through there. Girl Panic is on fire. I don't know how. Please don't ask. And, yeah, I've made it through. But because I don't matter, I'm just racing for funsies. We'll follow the second place people. It looks like Abe's Monster is in second place, followed by Allbrain, Girl Panic, and then a bunch more people.
Everyone's going down there all at once.
And Sugar, they're going down swinging.
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
I'll be your number one with a bullet. You're not going to finish it? Fine. I got caught by the fan blades. Who won't get caught? Because that'll be the person in first place after this. Everyone's getting slowed down, but Nate and C just fucking cruised through, and now they are in first place with Abe's Monster in second, and I look like I'm chasing
I
as
thought
well.
that was the end of the race. I was like, that's fast.
That would have been hilarious.
Because it went into like a bowl.
If that was the end of the race. We're all getting caught up. This is a pretty good race so far. Like, we haven't gotten a lot of eliminations.
Oh, man. I just saw all that red down there.
I like Temple of Steve. It's pretty good. Nate and C kind of got a boost right there from the fan blade, and I'm getting smacked around by it. I like tracks that deviate too, where you have like two routes that converge into one. I kind of like when you have two routes that like lead to the finish line in separate paths completely. That's pretty
I think
cool.
there's one, the convergence one. That's how it is, right?
I can't remember.
I don't know. We've done so many different tracks.
I know. Nate and C right now still in first place, doing pretty well. There's not a lot of people. Queen Caffeine is looking like it's gonna challenge, but the fan blade just kind of fucked over Nate and C. Someone just shot through. That was Queen Caffeine. Queen Caffeine, if you don't die on the stairs here, you might have your first ever victory on marbles.
No, but this is the one that has the two things that fall into the bowl.
Oh, yes.
This is scary.
So hopefully you're going to make it there first. That's going to happen. But
whether or not you
if
make
you
it
drop
into
through
the thing,
the wrong bowl.
It's the wrong.
Hope you don't go through right now. If you go through right now, you're going to die. This is bad for you. I think you're going to die. You're about to die.
Oh, God.
You have died.
Yeah.
That was very
rough.
close. I won.
What?
I like that on record. I fucking won. But Blancabella Toothy, congratulations.
So,
you're the real winner because I don't matter.
Email us at storytime@scaryish.com with where you would like us to mail us one of our stickers or static clings or whatever. You get what you get and you don't get upset.
Wow. That's hilarious. Spectral finished the race and didn't die. Spectral finished in fourth place. Nate and C was in third place. Meadows is in fifth place. The Snark just circling the bowl and hoping he doesn't drop through. If he goes now, he's going to live. If he doesn't, he made it. Congratulations, you made it. Sixth place. Jaxie Babe and Cat Beatrix are circling the drain. And Spooky Zora is back there, still approaching on the stairs right now. Jaxie Babe has died. Cat Beatrix survived. Spooky Zora, you are the last folk in this race. We'll see whether or not you make it through. I think you just died, and you did.
That was fast. Oh, man.
No one died that race until the very end. That's pretty fun. I'm not going to lie. I like Temple of Steve. It's good stuff. So final results, I finally won one, and now I have 16 points on the season. I guess I won one before this too. Kind of a dick. My bad, dogs. Blancabella23, email storytime@scaryish.com. Let us know where you want it to go. I know she already said that. I just wanted to reiterate it.
Yeah.
Because I fully support her. You have 14 points on the season. Congratulations. Abe's Monster still has 13. The Robin Grace has 11. And that's fun. I really like marbles on stream.
Yeah.
It's such an effing good time. It really is.
So how marbles works, if this was the first time that you guys have joined us for marbles, is whoever lands in first place is the person that we will send some scary-ish type goodie to. And then if they decide to pass it on, then it goes down the line to second, third, fourth. And so that past race was Adam won, so he doesn't get anything. And the second place person was Blancabella. So if you can email us, that'd be great.
Shout Spectral, who is now following. Thank you very much. All right. So that's the show, folks. We hope you enjoyed it. We enjoyed having you. It's always a really good time doing these because otherwise it would just be me and Robin reading the stories, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it's really fun to do these live because sometimes folks join us when we read their stories, which is very special. And it's really cool to get instant feedback for some of these stories because sometimes something really scary happens or something really funny or cool, and we want to see what you folks have to say. And a lot of people don't message us. We get good episode discussion in the Discord, but a lot of times people think something and they're not going to repeat it if it's not like readily available to them at the time.
Yeah.
So live shows are just super awesome to do. So thank all of you for joining us. Robin, I'm going to let you do the whole...
Yeah, let me just answer. Spectral, because you were fourth place, you don't win anything or you don't get anything this round. But if you do get first place in a future race, then you would get something. So the person that Adam passed it on to this round was the second place, which is Blanca Bello. So
correct.
Yes.
First place always wins. If first place doesn't want their prize, they pass it on to the next person who can then pass it on to the next person.
Yeah.
So me and Robin always pass because it's our show and this shit's all here already.
Yeah.
So that's the Pikachu, by the way. It is huge. Like, compare it to the bobblehead
Yeah,
Fallout
so,
guy down
yeah.
there.
So it's
The
a
Pip-Boy.
giant. I don't have any other amiibos because this is my favorite
Doesn't
one.
matter. You've seen
It's
it.
huge.
You believe
like
us
this is
now.
my hand. Look at this. It's huge. It's the size of my hand.
All right, let's go ahead and wrap the show up. I know that you folks have stuff to do. Thank you so much for joining us. Robin, take it away.
So, thank you guys for joining us for the live stream. If you'd like to support us, please go to patreon.com/scarishpodcast. And those are monthly donations. And we have a whole bunch of different tiers. We have tiers. We have a badge of honor tier where I make buttons or zipper pulls, or I did magnets last season, and I mail them out once every season. Well, not once every season, but I mail them out every season. So spring, summer, fall, winter, and a whole bunch of different tiers. All of that helps us keep the podcast going. Then we have coffee, ko-fi.com/scarishpodcast. And those are one-time donations for helping us upgrade our studio setup. So if you've watched us from the beginning, you've seen our quality improve because it used to be rough.
It used to be a GoPro taped to
Yeah.
a tripod, and now it's an
Now
actual
it's-
camera
yeah.
mounted to a tripod.
Yes, it's actually attached. It's great. And we do have Twitter, Facebook, everything social media wise. If you go to scariest.com, we have all our social media linked there, and our shop is on there. Right now, I'm running a deal on my personal Etsy shop. So if you go to the website, scroll down, my Etsy shop somewhere on the bottom, you click that. All my acrylic charms and stickers, including the Scariest stickers, are 20% off for the month of May. So if you go there, support us.
It's gonna be May, which you
is
can
May.
only do at the end of April. But hey, it's May, and I'm pretty happy about it.
But yeah, and then what else is there other than coffee?
Apologies. Yeah, if you want to reach out to us, Robin already mentioned it, but there's a bunch of different ways to do it. To get your story read on Storytime or your homegrown horror, email storytime@scarish.com. That is our email address. You can also go to scarish.com and click on Contact Us. Fill out that form if you would like. That comes directly to us. Tweet at us at ScarishPod, Instagram at ScarishPodcast, Facebook.com/ScarishPodcast for our Facebook page, and you can message us there. Also, join the Spooky Friends group while you're there. It's super fun. And click on our Discord logo on our website and join us on Discord. It's a whole lot of fun. Really good conversation. I really like releasing episodes and checking out the episode discussion tab because some folks are bringing up stuff where it's like, I didn't know this, or did you know this? A lot of us went to Camp Tecumseh, which I realized after we released the episode, because I talked about Camp Tecumseh, which is somewhere where I went on the most recent topic episode. So it's a really good time, and thank you to everyone who supports us. We appreciate every single one of you.
Yeah.
You make this worth doing. You really do, and I want you to know that. So Robin, take it from here.
Keep on creeping on, and we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.